If you like what we're doing here, make sure to give us a positive rating on iTunes, Google Podcast, or wherever you listen to the show. Also, make sure to check out the YouTube channel at youtube.com/thatoneandrew, where full recordings of this podcast are posted, along with a plethora of other videos. We now also have our very own Patreon, so if you'd like to support us monetarily, head over to patreon.com/thatoneandrew. Check it out today, and thank you for listening. Now, on to the show.
Greetings all. Welcome to the Gaming Block Podcast, the number one podcast for all the pertinent video game news spanning across all platforms, including Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, Stadia, and more. I got a burp. I'm your host, Andrew Arana, and today I'm joined by the bad boys of video games, Jake Ward and Roger Bennon. On this week's episode, we will be discussing a long-forgotten Konami title coming back from the dead, WB making some questionable legal moves, a plethora of video game movies and shows currently being in development, and guys, I mean a plethora. Like, it's a lot. And more, of course.
Such a nice.
But before we get into all that, tradition dictates I ask the bad boys how their very cold week has been. How you guys surviving in this terrible weather across which seems to be all across the U.S. Like, no one is safe from
Mostly
this.
the South.
Northeast too. I mean, I think the whole past, like, I don't know.
Like
I doubt
Texas, it's like there's a horizontal cut going up from Texas.
I talked to a meteorologist at my job a couple of days ago, and he showed me one of those radars that they have, and for like most of southeast Kansas, and it's not accurate, but it was covered. It was showing like 20 inches of snow for like past Monday. So I don't know where exactly that's going to hit.
Like 7 inches.
But yeah, get prepared, guys.
It's been snowing up here constantly for the last 24 hours.
Same.
And like, I don't know, it had snowed a few days ago and they plowed the roads and stuff, but it hasn't really been getting warm, if you notice. It's been pretty around 0 degrees for the last 5 days.
I know wind chill had it down to like -30.
Yeah.
Dude, we just missed that windshield, and I'm so happy we did, because it was supposed to be like, if you're outside for longer than 30 minutes, you're getting frostbite.
Which, so glad to have a puppy right now that we have to take out 5 times an hour. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But yeah, like, every time I'd go outside, we'd make footsteps, and then we'd go out an hour later, and the footsteps were gone. Like, holy shit. Like, it's snowing, so...
Yeah, at least it's
but other than that...
Ring a bell.
Other than that, what have you guys been up to?
Actually, sorry, it's -0 degrees here. I've just been enjoying my last week as a 23-year-old. Trying to get the platinum in Shovel Knight, but
last day as a 23-year-old.
It only goes downhill from here.
No, I know. That's why I'm not looking forward to it. It's a better number than 23. It's a little bit more attractive of a number, but like
24.
Dude, 24. It's like wow, I'm getting up there.
Like 24 is funny, but it's not as funny as 25.
25, you're halfway to 30.
Yeah, and then at that
point,
I
say that.
Kill myself.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a little bit over halfway to 30. I would say.
No, I mean between 20 and 30.
It's like if you told me at 15 I was halfway to 30, I'd probably just kill myself right then and there. But
listen, asshole.
I know what you mean, Roger.
Yeah,
I understand.
26 are closer to 30 than 20. That's what's really depressing.
Half a decade to 30.
Honestly, ever since I passed 7, I've just been fucking depressed, chain smoking in the corner.
That's a mood.
You know, just sit there with the cigarette in your mouth and just let it drip in your mouth.
I've done that a couple times. I like it tingles my mouth.
Just as a 7-year-old, just bags under your eyes and
Take cigarette out. This fucking another coloring page. It's every day with these damn coloring pages.
Give me a second. The color is Stormtrooper. Oh, I'm done.
Miss Smith, the fuck am I doing here? He's got the deepest raspy voice in the world. The 7-year-old. All the other kids are like, "Oh, I want to be a fireman when I grow up. I want to be a princess." I had dreams when I was your age.
like if Krusty the Clown had a baby with Patty or Selma.
Nice reference. Nice reference. So I usually ask you guys how you've been doing, and then I jump into gaming riddle, but then I jump into what we've been playing, and I kind of feel like what we've been playing kind of correlates with what we've been doing.
I never said how I was doing though. Jacob said how
I
he was
also
doing.
wasn't finished either.
Well, you're
I'm
never
sorry,
finished. You always have something more to say.
Jake just sucks the oxygen out of the room that my brain kind of dies and I forget who has and hasn't talked.
Like I'll say
So,
a couple
Roger.
things, and then we always like start talking about something else. And then it's like, oh, on to Roger. I'm like, well, wait.
That's true. I got so detracted by my chain smoking 7.5-year-old. In my mind, he was 7.5 years old, not 7. That's why he was like, these kids, because he's half a year older.
You're so proud of that. It just took everything else.
But Roger, how's your week been?
It's been good. All right, moving on.
Drake.
Okay. I just wanted to say that I did pick up Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury for the Switch, and it's pretty good. It's Mario 3D World. I am sad to report that they took out the Luigi Super Mario Brothers mode that lets you run through the original Super Mario Brothers backwards.
That sucks.
Yeah, I was kind of sad and it didn't pop up on the title screen, but they did give us a whole another campaign, kind of.
Question: have you played the Bowser's Fury?
I've played a little bit of it, and it's neat. You always have Bowser Jr. with you as your companion, and then like what Bowser just kind of attacks you randomly. I think it's on a timer, but you'll have the music start playing from the trailer, like that heavy metal rock music, and like stuff just starts flying from the sky. But it's cool because it's open. It's like they took Mario 3D World and made it into like kind of open world ish. It's not the level design you're used to in Mario 3D World, so it's kind of neat playing around with those mechanics in a different world style. But I like it. I feel like it's going to be short though.
Yeah.
But I say, it's better than just getting a straight port for $60.
Like they did earlier in the year. I guess late last year. It's New Year.
Yeah.
Now, do you think... I don't know. Nintendo sucks. We go over this every week.
Yeah.
Then I was thinking about it. Like, doing these HD ports... It's not even HD because it was HD before. It's just a port to the next console. But doing these ports is nothing new. Most game companies have done it in some way.
Yeah, just did it.
Yeah, they just did it. But what I think about is... At least in recent memory, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like all these ports that other companies have been doing, either and even Nintendo themselves did this with the Mario 3D All-Stars Collection. Granted, those games are older, so I don't think there was any way they could justify more than $60 for all three of them.
Yeah.
Some of them fit on a 2 GB flash drive, Mario 64. But I feel like most of these games, like I know we have the Mass Effect trilogy coming out, but that's 3 games in one, and that's $60. You said Neo and Neo 2; those were 2 full games, and that was $70 because that's what Sony's doing now.
Or if you have them already, you can get the second game for free.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Mass Effect, I feel like it's a little different because that's they're like unifying that as a gaming experience and like overhauling how the first game works.
You don't get all the DLC from Mass Effect 1.
Yeah, I mean, that's because it's corrupted. Yeah. But then, like, I know that BioShock came out with a collection that had all 3 games. Uncharted came out with all 3 games, and I feel like real work was put into these in some way. Mass Effect, they've like retooled Mass Effect 1 a lot to be more modernized. Uncharted, they've balanced a lot of things, fixed a lot of things. With Neo and Neo 2, they at least did like, I know 4K, 60 frame, that type of stuff. But with like, I don't know, this Mario game, it's just a port, right? With the added on, it's basically it's extensively a port with DLC, right?
Yes, and they did do one thing I noticed because there was a level that specifically tooled around the Wii U touchpad and mic, and the Switch doesn't have a mic in any way. Um, so one thing they've done to help you with the touch is they've given you this cursor that you can activate by pressing the right bumper, and it's actually like pretty well tracked with the motion detecting. Or if you're playing a handheld mode, you can just touch the screen like you could on the Wii U.
Yeah.
But they took away the platforms that you had to blow to move, so now they're just on a track, so you don't have to
Okay.
worry about. So they did
Yeah, but
change that at least.
that's
So
such
they
a
didn't
minor.
break the game.
But that's such a
Yeah.
minor
Yeah, so
thing, though.
so I figured they were gonna like find another way to do it, kind of like with Mario Galaxy with the pointer and all that, like in the motion controls, they kept everything the same, but they actually did go in and swap out some stuff to
I
make it work.
just I don't know. I feel like, at least for me, for bang for my buck,
Mhm.
all these Nintendo ports, because this isn't the first one they've done it with. They did it with Mario Kart. They did it with Pikmin 3. They did it with this. It's the whole thing of like, we need the last of the Wii U games over to the Switch. It's like, yeah, but I don't want to be spending $60 on the
Mhm.
same game. Like, they're literally the same game. They're not even old enough to be like, oh, it
Like
looks better because it looks the same.
with
Yeah,
Mario
They're-
if
Brothers
it
U,
if it was literally only $40, it'd be a completely different like attitude.
exactly. Yeah.
I will say,
I,
like, I think they kind of justify the $60 price. I still think it shouldn't be $60. I didn't like spending $60 on it. I mean, I spent
You're
$50
telling me
on it because I got a
you're telling me
discount.
two different things
Um,
here.
but I mean, like with the Bowser's Fury mode, it's got value there versus
yeah, but
like Mario U Deluxe, which was literally just Mario U with the Luigi DLC, but they'd already been selling that for like less than that on the Wii U.
yeah. I
Um,
don't know. It's the same problem I had with Persona 5 Royale. I'm like, just because you add DLC to it, because, back on the PS2, I get that you had to make Persona 3 Fez.
uh-huh.
And even to an extent with Persona 4 Golden, like, that was still a PS2 game. But Persona 5 Royale, yeah, it changes things in there, but that doesn't mean that you can't sell that for $30 as in like a new mode. And when you start up the game, you have Persona 5 on the left, and then you just switch over to Persona 5 Royale on the right, which is the DLC mode.
And to be fair though,
Um,
like the Golden did go on sale pretty quick, or not Golden, sorry, Royale went on sale pretty quick. I mean, I got it for like $20.
yeah. So I don't know. It was just something I was thinking about. I was like, all
Yeah,
these Nintendo ports, which
they just
I'm not.
put it
I
on
don't
sale
care.
to like overcorrect their bad marketing decisions. I mean, that's what happened with New Vegas.
And that's the problem. Like other companies put their games on sale, even if it is like something like these Nintendo Switch ports, but the Nintendo doesn't do that. At most, it'll go down to like $50
The problem is
But
Nintendo
ever.
isn't keeping its status of making like super good quality, first
yeah,
party titles. I mean, they still do a good job, but like you can tell they're getting lazier.
I think we talked about this recently, Jake. Roger, you might have been there too, but we did mention in a couple episodes, or like last episode or somewhere. I really think, back in the GameCube era, it was Nintendo. They might not have the best hardware, but they have the games. Like, they make the best games. And I really think Sony, the last generation with PS4, stole that from them. I think when
Oh,
people
very
think
much so.
who makes the best games now, it's Sony does. And honestly, even Microsoft is starting to, at least with the promise, is starting to creep up into there. They have things on the horizon, like the new Stalker game and the new Halo Infinite, which I know there's like a lot of troubling things about that, but still it's like there's promising things. And Obsidian's new game that they're working on, and so many other things. So it's like Xbox has promise, PlayStation has games they're showing right now. Nintendo has JPEGs for the last 4 years of Metroid Prime 3 and
For
Bayonetta 3.
I like
You
and
know,
I like how you said, Roger.
Throb.
You might have been there for that. Like I'm not a regular on the show.
well, I know you missed like one or two episodes, so I'm like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I'm pretty sure I was talking to Jake about it, so I was like, Roger, you might have been there.
You might have been on this podcast once or twice. No, I'm
You're not in
joking.
our life.
But yeah, so I
Oh,
don't know. Just a thought, but kind of going on a tangent for a while now. Roger, you told us how you've been. I was saying earlier, I want to move the what we've been playing segment up to here. Jake kind of gave us that with the Mario game.
Mhm.
Have you been playing anything, Roger?
No, not really. I mean, I've been working a lot, and in this weather, it's been like really brutal. So like,
Mm-hmm.
I tend to come home and like play an hour of zombies and then just go to sleep. Like that's been my ritual for the last 6 days.
to do.
I feel you.
And then do
Just become a
schoolwork when
zombie.
I have the time. That's
Yeah,
what
I
that's
feel
how it
that.
feels, dude. My eyes are so red. I come to work looking stoned as hell.
It's like, haha, dude, you've been smoking. It's like, no, I'm just exhausted.
I'm just
Oh,
so tired.
Okay.
Yeah, I wrote on the docket that I've been playing Final Fantasy VI on iPad. Um,
Have you
and
though?
actually, I wrote that
What
yesterday.
a sentence.
I do have
What a phrase.
What a
Final
story.
Fantasy VI on iPad.
What a story.
But today I actually did play a little more games. It's Sunday, Valentine's Day. Me and my girlfriend don't celebrate Valentine's Day. We think it's all bullshit. Which
Yeah,
you know
neither do me and my
it is.
girlfriend.
Yeah. But we stayed home and played games all day, and I played a lot of Attack on Titan 2 on PS4. Caught up in the anime, and I was like, I want to play this game again, and I'm jiving with the game more now than I was before, and this is kind of my third playthrough of it, which is weird because I played the first one on Vita, I played the second one on Switch, and now this is the like second one, but the deluxe edition. I'm playing on PS4, but I'm actually like into it now. At least doing all the side missions and like you do this has this whole stupid bonding system with people.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like every game has this now. It's Persona made it popular. But you have to freaking
Fire Emblem.
social Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem. Well, Persona did it in 2006. I don't know how the older Fire Emblem games worked, so maybe Fire Emblem did it first.
Not the
And
level that
honestly,
Awakening did. Like that brought it up a level.
Mm-hmm.
oh well,
And it,
yeah, definitely.
and
But
it definitely
Awakening was
popularized it in the West.
that was 6, 7 years
Hey,
after Persona
Persona,
3.
you can't pet your love interest like in in
And
Fates.
Fates, yeah,
Yeah,
you're right. You're right. And I don't want to.
unless you're in America, then you can't.
I also don't want to be saying that Persona was the first because definitely other games that did it first. I just know that it was a popular one. That's what it was known for. So, but
I d-
I don't know. So many games do it half-assed, and I'm like,
Mhm.
this is a waste of time to me.
Yeah, because I don't think like anything changes in uh, Attack on Titan, does it? If you
No,
decide to do that or not.
no. You unlock abilities, which I guess are helpful. Or not even abilities. They're like what do you call it? Skills. They're called skills.
Hmm.
So it's like I have rank 1 with Mikasa. You unlock the +5 agility skill, and you can equip that. Now you have +5 agility. So it does have benefits,
Hmm.
It's like
but at the
the
same time, it's
Fallout.
like it's kind of stupid.
I think a better unlock for that would just be able to call Mikasa at any time for her to just wreck shop and kill everyone on screen.
Well, you can do that too.
Oh.
Um, but yeah, and Final Fantasy 6, I love that game, and I'm enjoying it again on the
Oh,
iPad.
I also played a little bit of Mega Man 11 and realized I hate that game.
You hate it?
Yeah,
Really? I
I
actually
don't.
like it.
I don't like the double gear system at all.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't.
I'm gonna
I
be honest.
understand why.
Like I
The only Mega Man game I ever played was 2 on the old Game
It's a
Boy.
good one.
two's good. 2 and 3, I like those a lot. It's just the double gear system. It sucks because it's like I there's some clever use of it, but when the levels are designed around you actively using it, it's no longer fun.
Yeah.
Like
No,
when
I
you
get it.
you get to points that are like, you know, every Mega Man game had had gimmicks later on because what how can you make the same game interesting every time?
Hmm.
But the level design was always based around like it didn't matter if you had an ability or not, and since this is a rechargeable ability, there's a lot of just like sitting and waiting on it to recharge if you like mess something up.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's like it's fine, it's a good idea in theory, but and I understand having to make it limited because if you had it unlimited, you could just kind of break the game.
Break the game.
Um,
Hmm.
but it definitely shouldn't have like had as deep cut level design around it as it did. Like I understand like some challenging sections, like there's a part that's hard to get through, but if you use the double gear system, it's easier, and you get a little bonus for going through that way instead of just the normal way. Um, that I would get, but just when like you got to do vertical scrolling and platform off of bricks that are falling in slow
Hmm.
mo, it's yeah, it's and the physics don't exactly work like old school Mega Man, which it's like how could it? It's
Yeah.
3D
Uh-huh.
now, but yeah, it's just different. It's not that I hate's a harsh word, but I didn't care for it.
Yeah,
I,
it's
s-
not
I-
your cup of tea, which
mhm,
I think is fine. I think with Mega Man, it's kind of like you're saying. What did they do? You have 11 games now of
mhm,
more or less the same thing. So it's like, what can you do? And I think with 11, well, I think they're scared a long time, or not even scared. They just didn't know what to do with Mega Man,
mhm,
and they eventually decided, let's do something similar but new with it, with this double gear system. And I think it had mixed results, but there are definitely people that like it, and there's definitely people that don't. I think that's okay because that at least means you're doing something. You're
mhm.
not releasing Mega Man 9 again, which would, 9 and 10 were good, but I think if Mega Man wants to be relevant in 2021, which 11 came out how many years ago? 4 years ago now.
It was
Um,
3. Came out in 2018.
yeah, 3 years ago.
Mhm,
If you want to be relevant now, you're gonna have to do something different because that's why that game was like talked about a lot. Well, A, it was Mega Man 11, but B is like the Double Gear system. Like, oh, this new thing that's going on. Because if it was 11, Mega Man fans would be like, cool. Everyone else would be like, it's Mega Man.
mhm.
But
And
with that, at least it was like, oh wait, what? What's this? Huh? A little system? Huh?
and the thing is, like, Mega Man is a former AAA title, and they priced it at not a AAA price, which was nice. It's $40 game
Mhm.
when it came out, so it's
Yeah,
like kind of you know smaller
which it should
budget,
be
smaller
at
title,
this
yeah.
point.
But if you're gonna release it like old school Mega Man style, yeah, definitely should be in the $20 to $40 range.
Hmm.
But I really would like to see Mega Man do something new,
Eh,
Yeah,
eh. It's a
not
dead
maybe not even
franchise.
yeah,
it is. Honestly, it is.
because X was the perfect evolution to the old school Mega Man. And then they continued also doing old school Mega Man, and they also burned X into the ground. And
I think
Legends had
Capcom.
potential, but then they just never did anything
I
with
don't know.
Legends
I
after
think
the
you can
second
only go
one.
so far with Mega Man, and they went as far as they could. I mean, I could be
Hmm.
proven
I
wrong. I'm
I'm
sure they'll bring it
still
back,
really
but
sad because they had that really cool Retro Studios Mega Man X title that they were working on in the vein of Metroid Prime, and I thought that would be a really cool way of doing Mega Man.
Yeah,
But I don't know, it's different.
I think
I know
Roger's
you
right
don't know.
though.
Yeah.
I think with older franchises, you want to. I don't know. I mean, I can't even tell you how many Mega Man games there are, and that alone is being like, okay, maybe there's too many.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
maybe this
if
franchise does need to die.
I mean,
because you
this is
got the
coming from
11
somebody
original.
that's like a light casual fan.
Hmm.
I've played some other games. I've really only played two, but like they've done so much with it, and
Mhm.
it's recognizable. Everybody knows the name, but
I think Capcom
They
knows that
just
too,
burned it to the
though,
ground.
because Capcom doesn't release them, and like there are fans that are like, release Mega Man, of course, because there's always going to be fans telling them to release, Mother
And it's
3.
the fans'
Mother's
fault that we didn't get more Mega Man.
Well, that's what they said, yes, but um, I do think that there's always a time for some franchises, maybe not to die, but to go
To
away for a
take a
while.
break.
Mega Man will come back one day. I'm positive
I
of
think
yeah,
it. Just
I
I
know
think
they'll
because
come out
I
with
know
some new thing that revitalizes it, but like I don't know. I feel like it's just ran its course for a while.
because
I
that was the
agree.
thing with Mega Man. Like it was gone for a while, and then they did the Legacy collections, and those did really well. So we got 11, and then they did the X Legacy and the Zero Legacy collections, and we
And
haven't
those didn't
really
do
heard
as well.
anything else.
Yeah.
I think X did it like performed well. I don't know. I never heard how Zero did, um, but I
The
figure
problem is, other than Mega Man being recognizable, like we got all these indie games that just do Mega Man better.
We're
because
gonna talk about one of them in the
Shovel
show
Knight.
later.
Shovel Knight's not like Mega Man, but
Well,
it's got a very similar concept to it, and it just does it
I mean,
better.
similar
Well,
stuff. I'll play another one of the. What was that one game where you play as the girl climbing the mountain?
Celeste.
Celeste.
Yeah, I'll play another Celeste before I'll play another Mega Man. To be
Hmm.
honest with you, that game is
Honestly, yeah.
great.
Um, well, before we get too deep into all that stuff, I do want to go ahead and move on to the gaming riddle for the week. Only because later we're going to talk about a game that is definitely inspired by Mega Man, so we'll definitely get back to this topic
Okay.
for anyone that is wanting to talk more about Mega Man. Because trust me, we will talk more. Uh, but we have this gaming riddle that Jake was utterly perplexed by in the pre-show. So the riddle goes as follows for this week: YMCA, The Other Side, Love Boat, Rich Girl, Blurred Lines, 99 Left Balloons, Feel This Moment, Gentlemen, Ghostbusters, and many more. Tradition dictates that Roger goes first because that's the tradition.
Yes, yeah, because I keep losing. Welcome to the other side. I don't know.
Okay, I'm not getting this one.
Is it a rhythm game?
Yes. Kind of.
Kind of. No. Elaborate.
Yes.
All right, Jake,
Is
you
it
go.
SingStar?
What, Jake?
Is it SingStar?
No.
Oh.
What is Scene Star?
It's a karaoke game that we've been playing. Like,
Oh,
it's PlayStation karaoke.
I'd be upset if it was a game that you guys have been playing.
Oh, I don't do that.
I didn't
So,
play it. I was present.
I like how you went defensive there. No, I would never. I would never.
I played it. Roger, second question and or guess.
Um. Yikes. Is it a game that came after 2010?
Oh, I like that question. Yes, it is.
Mhm.
Jake, your next question.
Is it a game that came out before 2015?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Jake, do you know what it
Roger?
is?
No.
Roger, your last guess? Or I guess you could ask a question, but
Then
probably
I
should
would
make
give
it a
it.
guess.
So it came out between 2010 and 2015, and it's a rhythm game. That's what we got. Jake, your
You know what?
question didn't help me at all.
I'll give you each two more guesses.
Okay.
Two more. So Roger, this isn't your last one. You can ask another question. Silence, the sound of silence. Ba-da-bum,
These,
ba-bum.
so these themes, right? Like these are songs and stuff. And it's a rhythm game. Well, not exactly. Um, God damn. Does it have like the official songs in the game? Not specifically these ones, but like are the songs that are in the game official songs?
Ooh,
That
elaborate?
Nope, that answers my question. Go to,
I don't know what that question means. What do you mean? Like,
like it's
do
not
you mean like,
like song. It's not like parodies or whatever.
oh, yeah, these are official, yes.
Okay.
Jake, I'm really stumping them this time. So
Oh,
much quiet.
yeah, you really are.
Hmm.
I like this type of riddle though. This is the type I like more than like release date, system release.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm giving you props.
I don't know because I never play any of these sort of like rhythm music games at all ever.
I didn't ask for your whining, Jake. Pick a question.
See, if I wasn't the riddle master, I would exceed at this one because I am the type of person that played all those rhythm games. I was a part of the rhythm zeitgeist of the 2010s. It needs to come back. I miss them.
I want to ask if it's Persona 4 dancing, but I know it's not.
YMCA and Persona 4 dancing.
Oh
Also,
my god.
that game. No. Time frame would fit. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Jake, question?
Is it like your Guitar Hero type game? Like using
No.
peripherals as instruments if you're singing?
No.
Okay.
Roger, final guess? Listen.
Jake, do you want to guess?
I don't know.
I don't think I
Shot in
know
the dark.
either.
Any
Shot in the
game.
dark.
Just shout it out. It's 3, 2,
Dude, I couldn't tell
1.
you. What's No, I couldn't tell you.
So forfeit.
Forfeit.
All right, Jake, do you have a guess?
How does he?
Hmm? 3,
Skyrim.
2.
Fucking Weesing.
Okay, no to Skyrim, no to We Sing. I'm gonna go ahead over here. Andrew gets a point. The answer was Just Dance 2014.
Get out of
Just use the
here with
peripheral.
that year specific Just Dance rhythm game. Yeah,
Well,
I agree with Jake because it's the things coming down the screen and you hit a certain direction.
I'm sorry, what?
I just agree with
What do you
Jake that
say?
it's peripheral.
Yeah.
Um, no. So you said, does it use a peripheral like a guitar or anything? Like, no, it doesn't. It uses the controller or your phone. That's not a peripheral.
Yeah. No. Yeah,
Because
it
you,
is. Like
no,
you can
it's
like
not.
connect to your phone. That's not something native to the console.
Okay, well, actually, you know what? Just Dance 2014, it didn't connect to your phone.
Okay, so be like Connect or Wii Remote.
Well, I was thinking Wiimote. Yeah, that's not a peripheral. That's a controller.
We weren't going to guess it, Jake, no matter what. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you guys didn't even you weren't even sniffing the 2014. And I put 2014. I was trying to test your guys' music knowledge too, because that's why I put things like Rich Girl, Blurred Lines, Feel This Moment, Gentleman, all those came out
Dude, I was
that
thinking of
year.
like
Dude,
Rich Girl was
I
like
was looking at
Hall and
99 Left
Oates.
Balloons and I was like, what on earth is that
Those
song?
are the ones not and that's another thing. Like YMCA, 99 Left Balloons, those are those are Just Dance songs. Like those are always in Just Dance.
What about Slide to the Left, Slide to the Right, whatever that song is?
The Cha Cha?
Yeah,
I don't. Is that in Just Dance?
I mean it should be if it's not.
I agree. It
I've never
should
played
be.
a Just Dance game.
All
Have
right,
you
good
not?
riddle, Andrew. Wait,
I've
you've
only
never
played like
played?
You
I
never
think
played Just
I
Dance?
played like the Michael Jackson Experience, which is made by them, and I also played I think 3 because I had the Rasputin song in it. That's the only
So
song I
you've never had like the
danced
pad
to.
and shit and gone off on
No,
Just Dance? Oh,
no.
dude. That
That's
was
wild, man.
our youth group's freaking activity. That's
Yeah,
all we
like
did.
I guess now that I'm thinking about it, I played it a lot in like, student council, band, youth group. Yeah, so
I
I
wasn't
don't
part
know.
of
Yeah.
any of those.
We played in
Yeah,
youth
so
group all the time.
that's wild to think about that you've never really played Just Dance because I feel like that was such a thing back in 2000, like in the early 2010s, late 2000, the aughts. Um,
I also hate how Just Dance controls because there's no like real like direction to it unless
well,
you
Yeah, because
learn
there's
the
it goes with a
dances.
well,
groove, Jake. You just got to get going.
yeah. I mean, the point isn't like the scores and any of that. The point is just like having fun and dancing.
I
So
think the Just Dance or I guess it's Dance Dance Revolution that uses the arrows is a little bit more like
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
up to my speed.
yeah, DDR used the pad, so
Yeah, maybe
Just
that's what I'm
Dance
thinking
just
of then.
used the controllers, or I guess on
Dude,
Xbox the Connect.
I've DDR'd. I had the little plug and play mat for that.
Dude, we need to play some
Well,
DDR.
I
I want to
guess
get one of those
I know
big
what gaming riddle for
machines.
next week is. um, we've been running a little long in the tooth, but I'll go ahead and still ask this question. The question for the week was, what do you guys watch on YouTube? I'm asking this because over the last week I've delved deep into these like non-professional but done professionally well documentaries over just fucking wild shit, man. Like
Yeah, like
just
the gamer from
anything that
Mars and some of those other ones. I know which ones you're
not
talking
even
about.
that. It's just like I mean, some of them are game related, but others are just like,
No, no, no.
hey,
That's just the name of his channel. It's not game related.
oh, gotcha. Like, did you know the US tested a nuke off this island and inadvertently killed like 50 people and poisoned a whole island and made it uninhabitable in the 50s, but no one talks about it?
Mhm.
Shit like that. It's like, or disappearances, just random shit. So I was like, I wonder, what you guys, do you watch YouTube now, Jake? I know you do, and like, if you do, what are you
I don't
watching
watch
on there?
YouTube at all. I mean, I mostly watch like Let's Plays, but I do like or Vines, just kind of have something on. But if
Mhm.
I'm really like sitting there paying attention, it's usually stuff that's like behind the scenes stuff, like game development or like how movies, like stuff behind like movie production and how they did things in movies, like
Yeah, so
tricks that were
behind the
used.
scene
Yeah.
things.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
Roger?
I go through my rabbit holes like you do, where I'll watch a lot of these like kind of YouTube documentaries. I kind of like the YouTube like where they take a creator or a person and just kind of like deep dive into their life. Like there's
Mhm.
I forget who did it, but there's like an hour long one over the Wings of Redemption guy, and that one's actually pretty interesting. how how that guy's last 10 years went. Um, I have my things that I turn on for background noise, you know, some random streamer or whatever. And then I also what I really like to do is watch kind of like film analysis type videos or critiques or just
Mhm.
looking at how people make certain things, whether it's special effects or how they play a role or just like but the narrative and how it's kind of structured. That stuff I really dig. So
Mhm.
that's kind of the trifecta of what makes up my YouTube channel.
I was telling Andrew, and I think you would appreciate this channel if you haven't watched it yet. The channel name is Matt McMuscles, but he has a series called What Happened. Uh, he's started recently also doing movies, but it's mostly video games. But it's always like super interesting stuff. Like I guess like what first one that pops in my head is like the entire. He talks about the entire development process of like Duke Nukem Forever.
Oh, I
That whole 14 years.
that
Um,
could have an entire documentary on its own, I imagine.
I know. And it's like stuff like Daikatana and like I got one I recently watched that was cool. It was about Lair, which was Factor Five's like final game before they were shut down, and how Sony pretty much like killed that game straight out the gate by not letting
Mhm.
them
If
use
you've
standard
never
stick controls.
if you've never watched the Game Maker's Toolkit, that's one of the best channels in my opinion out there of like going behind the scenes in video game development.
Okay, I'll check them out.
Yeah, you should definitely check that out. That and then, of course there's the internet historian. That guy's hilarious.
Oh yeah, he's
Yeah.
great.
Mhm. Yeah. So, well, that's cool. I'm glad none of you said like Fortnite or anything
Oh
or
yeah,
named
that too.
shit like that.
I like watching
Oh yeah,
Fallujah
that was a
stream
given.
Ninja
Uh-huh.
Oh
flossing
my
on top
gosh.
of people.
Today we had some friends over and we were on the PS5 and I don't know, they have like Explore tab or something on there and under that they have like, YouTube videos related to your content and Fortnite was on there and we clicked this first Fortnite video and the titles were like the most clickbaity titles ever. I remember this one specifically. So I guess they had like a Tron thing or something in Fortnite where you could buy the skin for Tron.
Oh cool.
But the kid, obviously a kid, like this kid was like 9, 10,
He doesn't know what
11,
Tron
around
is.
there, early middle school, late elementary. He doesn't because he titled it Ultron.
Oh my god.
but then in parentheses, it said something um, like, I don't know, he stole the diamond question exclamation point and parentheses PS5, and it was like the most clickbaity thing ever. And then it starts up and what it is, it's just these boys, they're just these
They're
Boys.
just
young
two boys.
boys playing house in Fortnite. And it, like, those Roblox videos where they're
Uh
like
huh.
playing house. That's what this was. It's just that. But the thing is, it had like fucking 50,000 views, 500,000 views,
Yeah,
like maybe not 500,000, but it was like 50,000, one hundred fifty
I
thousand.
believe it.
I was like, I need to
dude.
do that stupid shit,
Dude, the same thing happened with Minecraft. I mean, some of the
hmm
crazy channels that came from Minecraft are just the most ridiculous cringe shit you've ever seen. And they
Yeah, it's like it's awful.
blew the hell
One of
up.
the one of the funniest examples I saw of that recently was there was this kid doing a stream, and then he was watching something about Halo Infinite pop up, and then Master Chief walks out, and he's like, "Dude, that's the guy from Fortnite."
That's a meme now, and I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that meme too. Like when Kratos was in there and they saw the, well, it's got before. um,
It's like,
yeah.
oh
So,
man.
It's so funny
all
how those
right.
games, all the Marvel superheroes and Master Chief and John
And
Wick
Aquaman.
and
I
Aquaman,
know, right?
and I refuse to play it.
Yeah. And the
I mean,
Mandalorian is in there
I
too.
play it sometimes,
Yeah,
but
that's right. The Mandalorian. No, no, you don't. Don't lie to us.
I don't know what it was, but it was like with the Marvel stuff. I was like, oh, sweet, that's cool. And then I barely participated in it. And then they did Mandalorian was their big
I hated
thing,
it.
and I was just like I hate that. I
I
don't know
haven't
why.
touched.
Like,
I haven't touched that game in years. I'm gonna be honest with you.
don't continue not.
Yeah, I'm
All
not
right,
going to.
boys. We're gonna go ahead and move into the news for the week. We're gonna have to set that Fortnite talk to side. Roger, you can go play Fortnite after the show. Um, someone hit us with the news theme. All right, for this week's news, we have 2 main stories and then 8 minor ones. Now, I kept it to 2 because A, I'm lazy, but B, the real thing was these are some pretty fucking big stories, and I figured that we'd have a lot to talk about these two.
And when you say
So,
that, we never do, but the minor stuff is what we end up going on our tangents about.
honestly,
Or we'll bring up something completely unrelated and go on like an hour tangent
Yeah,
on it.
Jake will mention Star Wars once, and it's downhill from there.
I don't
Hmm.
know. I just know that I typed a lot for these two. So I was like, I'll stick it to 2 for now. And then I'm sure some of these other things, like there's definitely a couple that I want to deep dive into. But these 2 for sure. Number 1 on the docket. Let's
Where's
talk
one?
about all these video game films slash TV shows being made.
Will do.
So what I've done here is I've compiled a list. You guys can see this on the docket. My first paragraph is movies that are confirmed to being made right now, and they're definitely happening. And then the second one is like films mentioned, and they might be happening still. Some we haven't heard of from like 2013, so they probably aren't happening. But that's how this works. Okay,
Remember
Okay.
when Ridley Scott was making a Halo TV show?
that is included into
Yeah.
this.
They still doing that with
Really?
Steven Spielberg?
Because they, yeah, we'll get all into that. So since we have neglected to talk about any of the video game movies and shows that are scheduled for release, I am taking it upon myself to list any and all relevant shows and movies. After this listing, we can go deeper into which spark our interests, which are uh probably going to be awful. Oh, the movies. Yeah, the movies are probably going to be awful
All
and
right,
why
let's
there's so
let's
many
still
to
be.
begin with. All right, you ready? Here we
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Let's go.
So the list goes as follows: Tom Holland's Uncharted movie in 2021, Mortal Kombat in 2021, Tomb Raider 2, the sequel to 2018's Tomb Raider, Minecraft the movie in 2022. We have
Nice.
Detective Pikachu 2, Sonic 2, maybe a Mass Effect movie, last heard of in 2013, a Mega Man movie, Gears of War movie. Call of Duty actually has 2 movies in development.
Yeah,
The
they got a
second one being
cinematic universe going, don't
the,
they?
the second one being a sequel to the first one. Yeah. Borderlands, which has recently signed on the likes of Kevin Hart, Kate Blanchard, my bad, Kate Blanchett, not Blanchard, Jack Black, and Jamie Lee Curtis. The Last of Us, which was recently signed on star-studded Pedro Pascal, a sequel to the Assassin's Creed movie. The Division 2 is getting a movie. The infamous Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Resident Evil, which is all CGI. Super Mario the movie, which is being made by Illuminations, right?
Also, it may not
Um,
have Charles Martinet as the voice of Mario.
Yep, I saw that news too. The Metal Gear movie, which apparently has Oscar Isaac playing a snake now. Without Remorse, which is a Rainbow Six film, and then both Cyberpunk and Tomb Raider have anime series on Netflix.
Oh, great.
Now, others that have been announced but never officially canceled, but they probably are, include Half-Life, Halo, Fallout, a Silent Hill sequel, Just Cause, Firewatch, Shinobi, Missile Command, Brother in Arms, Heavy Rain, Rabbids, Monument Valley, Duke Nukem, Watch Dogs, The Sims, Contra, Fatal Frame, Carmen Sandiego, freaking Tetris,
Let's
Roller
go.
Coaster Tycoon, Werewolves Within, Sleeping Dogs, Portal, Just Dance, Kane and Lynch, Fruit Ninja, Metroid 2033, Centipede, Splinter Cell, Dragon's Lair, and a Yakuza film. Which the
Was
Yakuza film I just couldn't find a lot of information on. Apparently that's more recent, so that one
Kane and
probably
Lynch.
is.
I
Everybody remember
remember
that game? That was trash. That was a trash game.
I remember when they announced the Tetris movie. It was originally announced as a trilogy sci-fi epic.
Guys,
I'm down.
boys, bad boys.
Hmm.
What the fuck is going on? Like, why
Dude,
is this a thing?
they've
You
been
know,
wanting to do this ever since video games became a thing, and like they
yeah,
just
the
don't
Mario Brothers
translate
movie
well.
happened, and that's a very entertaining movie. I will give it that.
I still have it on
Um,
VHS.
dude, I found a DVD of it, and I'm like, I want this. I'm keeping it forever.
That movie's a masterpiece.
I love it. Like I unironically love the Mario movie.
It's so
Now,
slimy.
I
I like how
know.
yeah,
slimy it is.
It's so
it
like,
really is.
how did Nintendo okay this? Like, this is why they don't have any other movies. But like, how? How did this
Now,
happen?
I want to set aside Detective Pikachu 2, Sonic 2, and the
Mhm.
Mario movie because I know Jake is going to be like, yeah, I'm going to watch those.
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
Um, but other than that, is there anything in this list that sparks your guys' interest?
Well,
Mortal Kombat,
we can kind
maybe.
of go through it and like okay, I'll just
Yeah,
let Jake
sure. So yeah, no,
like
let's go through it. So the first one is the Uncharted movie with Tom Holland. Like that's happening. It's filming's wrapped. That is
Hmm.
happening.
yeah, that's
I mean,
yeah, a done deal. I have no interest.
I'll
I'm
probably
gonna be
watch it,
honest.
but I really don't care for Tom Holland or Mark Wahlberg's casting in that.
I'll
Yeah, it's
watch
such
it if
weird
somebody wants
casting.
to watch it and like somebody else like rents it or something. But other than that,
Dude, yeah,
no,
like
I
I'll
just don't
invite you up
care.
and we'll go to the movies to see it.
Like
Make a
I
day out
like
of it.
Tom Holland and I like Uncharted and I have no interest in that movie. It's the same.
Hmm.
We were talking about this on another podcast where it's like we have Indiana Jones. Like I don't know. It's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
reverse. It's just the
exactly.
reverse situation. Like,
Hmm.
okay,
When we're talking about the Indiana Jones game, it's like we have Uncharted. It's the same
Hmm.
thing with the movies. It's like Indiana Jones still older, but they are making new ones, and it
Yeah,
is like
got five coming out.
it's like,
yeah,
do we
but
need
if you don't like Indiana Jones, they make a new like movie that's like that every so often.
Mhm.
Like
Hmm.
they
Yeah,
have a
Tomb
ton of
Raider.
them like that. Yeah,
yeah,
they
we have
we got Tomb Raider.
Which that one
um,
was all right. So the sequel, hopefully,
I
will
liked
be
it.
all right. Um,
Um, what about Mortal Kombat?
that one I think would could be good. I
I
saw
know
that
people that are
the
legitimately
original.
excited for it.
It
Really?
sucks because I found out like recently because it was supposed to be like a super big budget, but now I found out the guy who caused Mortal Kombat Annihilation is an executive producer on it.
Oh boy.
So it could be just as bad as the old ones. But I mean, he was also tied to the first one, so that one was good. I like the first Mortal Kombat movie,
Hmm.
but it just remains to be seen. I think they got some commercial directors to direct this movie too, so it's not turning out to be as like all out there as it originally was supposed to be.
Hmm.
But I think Mortal Kombat is an entertaining enough, and I think it's easy enough to translate that to film.
Yeah, I just
Um,
feel like I know 11's different, but for the most part, no one gives a shit about the Mortal Kombat story.
I,
Yeah,
So,
I
that's
like
not
the
the draw.
stories of Outworld and
But they can translate that into movie where it's just stupid, over the top violence in
mhm.
movies.
honestly, I
We
would love it
got
if they
that,
tried their hand at
but
Street Fighter again.
The thing is, with Mortal Kombat, all they have to do is take those characters and put them in a scenario. Because
Yeah,
I think the biggest problem, and I
that's
just
what
want
they
to say
did in the
this
first
quickly.
movie.
I want to say this quickly because we have so many to get through.
Mhm.
But I think the biggest problem is that when they make movies from video games, they try to stick to video games, but that doesn't work. Making a Mortal Kombat movie that is a tournament like it is in the game,
Mhm.
it kind of it just doesn't it's not good film. It's not good film. But if you take those
They made it.
characters that have those unique personalities and skill sets and stick them into something,
Mhm.
that's cool. You can make a really cool movie out of that.
what they
But
should do
That's
anyway,
is,
that's the thing. Like
you know
the
what I
first
want to
movie
see?
was, huh?
I was say, you know what I want to see is an animated DC movie of the Mortal Kombat versus DC universe. I think
oh,
that
that'd
would
be
be.
awesome.
We got the Scorpion movie from the DC animation studio, so we could see it
Yeah,
happen.
I would love that.
Yeah.
They're
Never
always
watched
doing
that
some weird
movie.
shit with those. But
What
yeah, I
about
like. I
no, go ahead.
was
Finish
just
your
saying, like the first Mortal Kombat was about the tournament. I think it kind of skewed off of that about halfway through. But the second movie was literally just let's shove as many, if not all, of the characters from Mortal Kombat 3 and 4 in
Mhm.
this movie in a globe-trotting adventure where plot lines just get dropped left and right for us to
Yeah.
have fights with these characters and recast the entire cast except for um, one or two people.
Mhm.
So
I
I don't
think
know.
Uh,
I think Andrew's right though. I think that's kind of the problem is they try and stick too closely to the video games where it's like
Mhm.
just do whatever. Just take a loose interpretation of it and do whatever. That's why I like
Exactly.
the idea of the Assassin's Creed movie, where it's set in that world, but it's a new assassin doing a new
Hmm.
assassin thing in a new timeline,
I
and
never saw that movie.
it was okay. I mean, it wasn't. I don't think it was bad. I thought it was fine for what it was.
I'm so curious as what they're gonna do with the Mario movie. Like it's like
Whoa, whoa,
because they're
whoa! We're not there yet. We're
no,
not
I
there
know,
yet.
Hold
but
up.
they're not
Next
gonna
one
do.
is we can move on to the next one. Tomb Raider 2. I like the first Tomb Raider movie. I think I'm in the minority of that, but that's okay. And I
It
am
was fine.
excited to see the second one. Either of you spark your interest?
It was
I wouldn't mind
inoffensive.
watching it.
I'll go with you to see it if you take me.
I would rather watch that than Uncharted.
Yeah,
Honestly, yeah. It's weird to say that, but like, yeah, I'd rather see that than
honestly,
I
Uncharted.
used to
I
watch the
kind of
old
want to see.
ones all the time with
Hmm.
Angelina Jolie. I used to love those movies
Yeah,
as a kid.
I love the old ones.
I also think it would help my interest with Uncharted if we got a trailer for it. Because
No,
I don't
Yeah,
know, just to kind of see what direction they're taking it.
no, I couldn't care less. They have to win me over.
Hmm.
yeah. Minecraft the movie. Don't
Trash.
care. It's going to be a kids thing. It's going to be
Listen, the
stupid.
only reason we're getting it is because of the Lego movie.
That's not true. The
It's
only
gonna
reason
be
we're getting it is because it's Microsoft.
yeah. I think it got announced because of the Lego movie. Like it was like right after that
Mm,
came out. Like
The
when
thing
they saw
is,
that was successful, it's like oh we'll do that.
the Lego
gotcha.
movie was like made with heart. Like I don't understand. The Lego
Mhm.
movie shouldn't have been good, but
No,
Yeah,
unfortunately,
that's the thing.
it,
I
Like
it
agree.
was. It
that's
was
it's the
great and it
reason
was
we
made
got
with
shit like
heart
the.
and it had a great message that actually is compatible with Legos. It's stupid.
It's great. I love
We had no way
that.
to be
I
as
thought
good.
the Lego Batman movie was also good. I didn't see Ninjago. Or the second movie wasn't as good. And then we got the Emoji movie because of it. So
Yeah, awesome. Detective Pikachu 2.
yeah,
I don't
that's good.
care, but I know you will.
I like the
I'll
People
first
like
watch
that
one.
it.
movie. I'm not a fan of it. That's
I
just
think
me
it's
though.
fine.
Sonic 2, same thing. I didn't like the first one, but I know a lot of people do like it. So
I like it too.
yeah,
So I'll see
Roger,
it.
you a
Make a note
Hedgehog
of it.
fan?
I never saw the first one. I
It's
need
good.
to. I meant
It
to,
was
but I
fine.
never did. It had the very '90s plot line where it's just taking him out of his world and bringing him to our world.
It's a road trip with John Marston.
Yeah,
And
I mean it's fine. It's
Yeah, I think they, initial reactions aside, I think they genuinely wanted to make like a good Sonic movie.
the
Um,
best part of that film was the opening that had Sega, and I saw a little bit of Yakuza in it.
and Persona.
And Persona. I didn't see any
Um,
Persona in there, but it's probably there.
mhm. But I think it'll be once they have more freedom to do the sequel, I think we'll be in a lot more of like traditional Sonic stuff in it.
I think it'll make it worse, to be honest.
Yeah, we
I
got
agree.
Tails. We know Tails is in it.
Um, this next one is probably not happening at all. But
No,
Mass Effect, I mean, I know it's not happening, but God, I wish it would. I'm
Be
such a
cool.
big Mass Effect fan, but it's not going to happen.
I
Like
like
last year,
sci-fi,
2013.
so
I.
Mega
How would
Man
you?
movie.
I wonder how they
Oh,
would. Hold on, I wonder how they would do Mass Effect though, because I feel like that would almost work better as
be a
like
lot of standing
maybe like
around
a.
talking.
Well, what I was that's what I was gonna say is maybe it's like a Star Trek style TV show.
well,
Just
what I was thinking
An
was
interactive movie.
in Mass Effect 1, they talk a lot about the first contact war with the oh god, I think they're
oh
called
look,
the Turians.
Mass
Um
Effect has such a unique world that they could go a lot of ways however they want to with it. Like it's a
yeah,
really great world.
But if they
Um,
did it, it would just be like Shepard.
yeah,
I
that's
don't
why I
think
don't want a movie. That's
I
why I'd
don't think
rather
it
have
would
like
be.
a type of TV show where it just follows a crew.
I think if they did a Mass Effect movie, it wouldn't be Shepard because Shepard is that those games are so much about like your
No,
experience and your
Andrew,
custom character.
Andrew, that's the smart way to go about it. But these movie studios don't do smart. They're like,
It depends
Trevor's
on
Yeah,
a recognizable
it depends
name.
on like how much care is put into the project. That's the thing. Because
they
That's
like
the
if it's
thing.
like oh we're making a Mass Effect movie, yeah, put Shepard in there, yeah, put Miranda in there, we got a
the
movie.
thing is,
Blue
if they
Lady.
did the Mass Effect movie, they could get Keith David to play Lieutenant Anderson,
It's true.
which
That'd
would
be
just be
sick.
But they wouldn't.
perfect.
That'd be sick.
They'd get Samuel L. Jackson.
That would be even better. Mega Man movie. We kind of already
I
No.
talked about Mega
yeah,
Man.
I don't know if that's happening.
It needs to
Um,
die. Like, put it away.
I know they had like a semi-successful animated TV show recently, which is like good
Mhm.
for it. I think it. I don't know how you would do a movie. Is it live action? Is it supposed to be?
No, no, no,
Okay.
no.
Yeah, I mean, like it could work. I think Mega Man has enough, you know, appeal from its design that it would work. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
the plot in Mega Man is Dr. Wily turned 8 robots bad. Go kill them because they had no choice in this situation, and rip their heart out to take their ability.
Yeah.
So good family friendly content. Oh, Dr. Wily died. No, he didn't.
Gears of War. I don't care.
Eh.
I think Gears of War kind of same as Mega Man. Like old series, they need to put it away for a long time. Don't make a
I
movie
don't
out of
know.
it.
I mean, yeah, I kind of agree, but like at least that has a more like unique like world setting or whatever.
Mhm.
You know,
I can
actually,
see it being okay.
I do just I take back my comment because that is the one thing. I've never been a fan of Gears of War, but every time I hear about the story, I'm like, that's really fucking cool. Like aliens living underneath Earth,
Mhm.
and then whatever day it is, they come out and there's a whole war about it. Like
Yeah,
that would
I,
actually be a kind of cool movie.
I'm kind of the same way. Like I really don't care for the games, but
Get
yeah,
Will
I can see
Smith,
that
make
being
it
kind of
like
cool.
basically I Am Legend.
Well, no, I mean, no.
Dude, if they had a Gears of War movie that's like I Am Legend, I would be so upset.
Apparently, Gears of War is like also super emotional. Like they'll get to like
Oh
I don't
Oh
yeah.
know,
yeah,
like the crew's family dying and shit like that. So I think you could make like an actually like you could make a movie about like Gears of War 1 and it would actually be good from what I've heard. Haven't
again,
played it though. So
I think the way to do video game movies is to take the world and some of the characters they set up and make your own story. Don't just adapt the story they've already told.
Hmm.
yeah.
It's like the Halo
Um
movies. Like,
Call of Duty has 2 movies in development. I
also, it's like, it's just what it would be a war. It's just still gonna be a war movie.
It's gonna be a war movie, yeah.
You
It's
Which
remember
I
that
think is
movie
okay.
that came out a little while ago called Act of Valor? It's just going to be that
Yeah. Like, unless
super
they make it
explosive pro
like
military movie.
Modern
Mm.
Warfare, like I don't know. Like,
No,
Yeah,
it's
but then it's like we have Modern Warfare. So,
yeah.
yeah. Just go watch Act of Valor twice. It's going to be the same experience.
yeah. So Borderlands is kind of in the same boat as Tomb Raider and Uncharted, where it's really ramping up. Like, well, not Tomb Raider, I guess. It's a lot like Uncharted, where I mean, they've signed on Kevin Hart, Kate Blanchett, Jack
Yeah,
Black, and Jamie Lee
if they
Curtis. This
I've
movie
seen
is
it
yeah,
before.
happening.
if they get that cast specifically, I'll watch it. That's a
No,
crazy
they
cast.
have that
Yeah.
cast. Like, yeah,
Yeah, but
they're all signed on now.
cast because you hear about the stories all the time where they sign on these names. They're like they're going
Hmm.
to be this movie, and they always drop out or something
Remember the
happens. It
Dark
gets stuck in
Universe?
development. So
Yeah,
if this
Do we need
cast
to talk
stays,
about
I'll
the Dark
definitely watch it.
Universe?
I
The
think
what?
it's a
The
dark.
Dark Universe?
I don't know. It's
The
freaking
Dark Universe was the Universal monster movie universe that comprised entirely of Tom
Oh
Cruise's
yeah,
The
yeah,
Mummy,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
it
But
We're
what's
never
that
not,
have to
went
do with
anywhere.
Borderlands?
we're not going to
Well, I'm
talk about
saying like
that.
it had signed on all these big names, like Angelina Jolie as Bride of Frankenstein, Johnny
That's a
Depp as the
little
Invisible Man, and they
that's
had
a
a,
little different though
a
because
photo shoot. They were in pre-production, and then they just never happened
that's a
because
little
of The
different
Mummy.
because you're talking about like a whole franchise of movies. This is
Hmm.
a movie. This is one. Like you're
Yeah.
not that's different because if the first movie fails then yeah, the whole franchise is going to fail. This is
Hmm.
like I don't know, if the first movie fails, they already did it. Like, I guess no Borderlands too, but I think this movie is going to happen, especially now that Gearbox has that Embracer money since
Yeah.
they just merged with them.
I mean,
Uh,
they got some money, so if they keep that cast, that would be pretty cool.
yeah, this next one also is seemingly definitely going to happen now. The Last of Us, which is an HBO TV series, and unlike what we've been saying, where we kind of want them to not just go beat for beat for the game, this show is going beat for beat of the first Last of Us
Really?
game, which
Why?
is I I
It's cool for
don't
a more general audience that
know.
doesn't play video
The
games.
game
I
told
think
the
that's
story so well.
I think that's what it is that for the general audience, you hear about like these great, you know, gamers, us gamers,
Gamers.
um, we, say like, oh, the best stories in games. There's a lot of them, but The Last of Us is thrown up there pretty highly a lot.
It's always at least mentioned.
Yeah, exactly. So I think this is Sony's way of being like, okay, we have this game with a really good story. It's won all these awards for it. Last of Us 2 just came out. We want to expand our reach of this universe. How do we do that? TV,
Pedro
like
Pascal.
Pedro
So is it
Pascal.
Is it being directed by Neil Druckmann, or is it like somebody completely
Mm,
new?
It is being so Neil Druckmann is writing it, but he's like not solely writing it, but he's there for like lore purposes and kind of like making sure it like works with the world so so a Mario movie doesn't happen, you know? Um and
I just
it's
know
not being
he's so
it's not
focused
being
on his
directed by him.
storytelling. I'd be curious at how he did a TV show or something like that, or a movie or
Mhm.
whatever it's supposed to be. I don't
It's a
know.
show. It's an HBO like 10 episode miniseries or something like that, which I think is a good thing for video game shows. I think that works well because they usually take longer to tell. Um, but I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be good or not. You know,
Yeah, I don't
like
know. I guess I'm glad Pedro Pascal is getting the stardom nowadays.
I think he is a good Joel. It's just I don't know. I can't see anyone not named Ashley Johnson and Troy Baker as playing
Yeah,
Joel and
I
Ellie.
know he does such a
he
good job.
he's a
And they
good
got
Joel,
they
but he could be
casted
better.
Ellie too, and it's that one chick from Game of Thrones. I don't know her name. She was like, I don't know. She was a child actor in Game of Thrones, and she became
Wasn't she
like
the awesome one like in the final
I
season?
think so. Yeah, she
Was
became like
it
a badass or something. It was like
was
a
it
she
was it
rolled
Macy
somewhere.
Williams as Arya? Is that who it was?
Maybe I you know what? I'll look it up while you guys talk about the next one. Um,
Thanks.
I don't I don't know
It's,
though. It's just like this could be good. It also could be
I don't know.
crap.
I'm not excited about the same story being told. To me, it was told so well in video game form. I get what you guys
Mm,
are saying, but like, I don't know. I don't think it's going to draw in
Yeah,
that
I
many
mean,
more people, to be honest.
I think
yeah.
if it like gets a big enough following, like, hey, this Last of Us show is really good, then it'll blow up and everyone will watch it.
Hmm.
Maybe,
And
maybe.
especially like people that have never heard of Last of Us and that aren't in the gaming sphere at all, that just like good TV.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a big group, is what I'm saying. I think video games have just kind of gotten so much more popular that
And
that's
there's
a
like,
diminishing. I feel like
what
that's
I'm
a
thinking of
diminishing
is people like,
return.
but what I'm thinking of is
Yeah,
people like
maybe.
my grandma. She'll
Hmm.
probably love that show. She doesn't know how to play a video game.
My
She's never
grandma
gonna play
won't
those
because she
games.
doesn't like those types of shows.
Oh, that's the thing. My grandma loves those types of shows.
You're in the
Pretty
Honestly,
minority.
crazy.
um,
Most
I,
grandmas don't care for those types of shows.
Hmm.
I agree with you, Roger, but also I'm kind of like also going against you because I think of Susan. She likes she watched me play The Last of Us 2 and she started playing The Last of Us. But just, you know, the way she plays games, she doesn't play them a lot. It's been
Hmm.
months now and she's like, I don't know, 3 hours in, 4 hours in. It's gonna be years at this pace to beat the game. But I know if there's an HBO like, oh, it's The Last of Us as an HBO show, she'd be like, oh yeah, let's watch that. Like I've always been, I've seen you play this. I'm interested in the world. This is an easy way for me to get into it.
Well, and
So
I guess I'm talking on my ass because I'll probably watch it. So what do
yeah,
I know?
her name is Bella Ramsey, by the way. I don't know who she. I didn't watch Game of Thrones, but she played. She was good, apparently, like really good, and she's famous and she's Ellie. So
She's not one of the main leads as far as I know.
I don't know. I never watched it. So
Okay, anyways,
um
sequel to the Assassin's Creed movie.
yeah. So
Hmm.
sequel to the Assassin's Creed movie. I never saw it, but
Yeah, I wonder
it
if they'll
could be
get
good.
Michael Fassbender back.
If they get
Probably.
Michael Fassbender back, I'll watch it.
I like him.
Um,
I mean, I'll
the
probably
Division
watch it
2.
anyways. Why?
Wait, the Division 2 specifically.
I think
Yeah,
so. Yeah.
That's but we don't. Okay,
different setting, different story.
it comes out just. It's called Division 2, and it's like, oh, what about the first one?
It just comes out as Division Two.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know.
It could be
Tom.
cool.
Here's the thing. There's been Tom Clancy movies, and they haven't been
Hmm.
Yeah,
bad. They've been all
Yeah.
right.
like Jack
So
Ryan, Patriot Games.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Uh,
I don't know.
wasn't was the Hunt for Red October a Tom Clancy, or is that something else?
I don't
Yeah, I
think
don't want to
so.
make myself a fool, but I want to say yes, but I also
I
don't
thought
know.
I thought it was, and that movie was
I
really
don't
good.
know. It might be. Um, that had Sean Connery in it,
Yes, it
Alright,
did.
Sean.
basically
Rest in
as
peace.
James Bond, but not James Bond.
Um, this Five Nights at Freddy's movie,
Whatever.
that's over, right? The zeitgeist for Five Nights at Freddy's is over, right?
I
This
mean,
movie is
is the
10 years
movie
too
gonna
late.
listen? I'll only watch it if the movie's about the Bite of '87.
That's what you
Only
always
watch
say.
it if
But the
it's
Bite
like
of '87.
if it's like the most violent thing I've ever seen.
I know, right?
Yeah.
The
Listen,
problem is
they
every
got the
time you
Five
hear,
Nights at Freddy movie. Nick Cage is in it. Also, they
um,
made a Banana Splits movie, which is basically Five Nights at Freddy's for some reason. You know the
what
Banana
worries
Splits,
me, no,
like the old group of like it was always on Boomerang if you watched that as a kid.
no,
Uh, they did the
No.
tra la 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 song.
mm-mm.
For whatever reason, they just made them a murderous group of animatronics. It's an old Hanna Barbera thing. I don't know why.
I support that definitely. Um, yeah, I don't know. Every time I hear about this movie, I hear like there's delays because the dude Scott Cawthon that made the games, he like wants it to be like exactly right with the lore and things like that. So they're really
Mhm.
focusing on that shit, which I think with a movie like this, you need to focus on like making it a horror movie, you know,
Mhm.
Yeah.
not not like this deep lore thing that honestly no one cares about.
I want it
Um,
to be
Like
super
this movie's
fucked
been
up.
in
That's all I
development
want.
for like
mhm.
the better half of a decade, hasn't it?
God, it's been forever, yeah. So that's happening. Resident Evil, they have that CGI fully through, which I feel
Doesn't
like they've
count.
never stopped making Resident Evil movies. They're
Yeah,
always coming
they
out.
already have three CGI movies, and they have
Yeah,
the
hmm
other ones that star
The other ones.
what's her face from
yeah.
Monster Hunter.
those
So
are those are
Yeah,
that's
we got the
cool.
Monster
something.
Hunter movie. Anybody watch that?
Nope, came out
Nope.
December of last year.
I forgot that happened.
Super Mario the movie. We already kind of touched up on it.
I The thing is, like,
It might be good.
I'm wondering what they're gonna do with it. Like, the Mario RPGs have great stories. I don't think it's gonna be on the level of Mario RPG stories.
It's gonna be an Illumination film. Probably not. It's probably not going to be as stupid as Minions. It's probably going to be up there. I could see it being Despicable Me level good.
It's gonna be up there
Yeah.
with
Maybe.
the
I
Grubhub
think I
commercial.
think it'll be I think it'll be acceptable as an Illumination movie.
Mhm. Yeah,
I
I
can see
really
that
wish,
art
like,
style fitting it.
that's the thing. Like,
definitely.
I think they'll do fine. I think Sony Pictures Animation could have done way better, but I know they wouldn't
I
do a
They
good
would
I don't
enough
never
know.
do
job.
that.
I don't think they'd ever do it. Yeah, I think it's gonna work as an Illumination movie because that's their
Mhm.
style.
I agree. Um,
Better get Charles. If
got
Mario
the.
starts talking and it's Kevin Hart, I'm gonna flip.
Oh man. We got the Metal Gear movie, which has been rumored for centuries.
Now, who played Snake in Metal Gear Solid 5? Because they
I
got like a real actor do the
You
voice
mean
of him.
Big Boss?
Yeah.
Um,
Hey,
you know,
you can't just say Snake nowadays.
yeah,
Just
because there's so many snakes. Um, I don't know, but
um
Oscar Isaac, which I think Oscar Isaac, I saw kind of like an artist,
oh, Kiefer
like
Sutherland. Like, why didn't they just get Kiefer Sutherland to do it? Because they replaced David Hayter with a real actor because on Hideo Kojima's behest. Why
because
wouldn't they just get the same guy?
because when you're casting for a movie, you don't just get the same guy that's in the game, and also I think because Oscar Isaac is a big name now.
Yeah.
And I think he works really well in the role. At least for the look wise, I saw like, him looking like Snake and I was like, yeah, I
Hmm.
can see it. Like
That
it
guy that guy can adapt. So like I don't have an
mhm,
issue.
He
yeah.
better come on screen and be like, kept you waiting, huh?
I don't know if this will actually happen, but
No,
I
I
hope
don't
it does.
I don't believe for a second this will happen.
um then we have the Rainbow Six film, which
Whatever.
I don't fucking know. There's
Another
some big names
war
attached
movie.
to it. Yeah, another something. And then two anime series, the Tomb Raider anime series, and then a Cyberpunk anime series.
Cyberpunk I can
Great.
see. Tomb Raider kind of caught me off guard.
Yeah, it's and you know what? I forgot to mention. I just thought of this. This wasn't. I got this list from IGN. Fucking leave it to IGN to forget things. But the Ark Survival Evolves, they're having an
Yeah.
anime
Oh,
series too
yeah,
that
they
they
are.
announced.
I love that.
So that's three
Like,
anime series.
I could care less about the Cyberpunk one, but I'll probably watch Tomb Raider.
That game's really dead and forgotten, isn't it? Like
I I've never cared for it at all,
it
and I
came and
never got
went.
the hype for it.
I feel like most people didn't. Like I don't know. Everyone I heard and talked to is like, yeah. I mean, people are really hyped and excited for it. I'm not really, but a lot of
Yeah,
people are. Okay.
I'll play
I
it when it's
may.
fixed and $20, but that's about it.
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't know if it'll
yeah,
ever be fixed
yeah. I don't know.
at
Um,
this rate.
but yeah, we won't
Yeah,
go through all the other ones because I mean, there's some interesting ones like Missile Command as a movie. Like,
Yeah, like
it's
I would
pretty
like.
funny.
What is this gonna be like? Asteroids fall from the sky. It's like, oh, I get it. Oh, there's another one. Oh shit, there's 12 more.
Be like fucking pixels or
I will
something.
I will
Oh
say
god.
Metro 2033, since it's based off a Russian book, that could make a cool movie. But that's about
That'd
the
be a
only.
really cool movie.
Centipede now, about a centipede crawling from the top to the bottom of a screen. That's a
And
pretty
you
good
know
one.
what?
Leave it to Jake.
I'm pretty sure there is a Yakuza movie already as well.
I think there is.
Like
I don't know if
99%
it's called
sure.
I
Yakuza,
wouldn't be
but I'm pretty
surprised.
sure there is one set in that world.
Like, this is the first
Like a
game or
Jap.
some shit.
No, it's the thing is, I think it's a Japanese film.
Yeah.
I'm sure this means like an American produced film.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but I will say, Dragon's Lair. If Disney did it, it would look just like the game. It'd be cool.
Mhm. It'd be pretty cool. So, any more closing comments or concerns about all these? I felt like, we're 17 episodes and 18 episodes. I don't fucking know how long we're in. And we've
How
never
long of a
mentioned.
movie would Heavy Rain be?
I don't think that's happening.
Yeah.
Heavy Rain was announced when Heavy Rain came out. So,
Yeah.
he's
Why is Fruit Ninja on there? I don't understand that.
because
Mobile games.
I honestly feel like every game that was big, they were like, "Oh, let's make it a movie." You know?
Dude, I would love if Roller Coaster Tycoon movie came out and it was just a movie about some psychopath who owned a theme park where it just
That's
was made to
exactly
kill
what I was
people.
thinking of. Yeah. Like,
It was about trying to escape the theme park.
yeah. So, any closing comments or concerns about any of this?
Um,
I think we gave him.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll say
Def-
Just Dance. Make that a movie, I guess.
Just
I
Dance
say
2014 specifically.
Portal would be a cool
uh,
movie.
Dance Dance Revolution is the one I want to see.
Dude, Just Dance v Dance Dance Revolution. That's how
Uh,
you
They
make a
will,
fucking movie.
they will
I want to
find
see Star Wars: The Kinect game as a movie.
Become like a star.
Stop it right now. So,
I'm Han
all right.
Solo. I'm Han
Well,
Solo. I'm Han
putting all that
Solo.
behind us, we're going to get into news article number 2, which is, guys, this is another big one, but it's a lot. There's a lot more pieces and a lot more interesting pieces going on, especially for you Halo fans.
Oh no.
6 Days and Fallujah is revived from the dead. Before we do this, have any of you guys heard of this game before? Because I have. All right. Roger, have you?
I've heard of it, but I can't.
Familiar?
Yeah, I can't think of
You
it.
might remember after all this. So there's a lot to unpack with this one. To start, 6 Days in Fallujah was a third-person tactical shooter developed by Atomic Games and published by Konami. The game was to retell the events of the Battle of Fallujah, a real battle that occurred in November of 2004 during the Iraqi War. Originally announced in 2009, the game was met with a lot of criticism and controversies because of its realistic nature and released so close to the real battle. While never officially canceled, the game faded away. Now, in 2021, the game has resurfaced under Highwire Games and is being published by Victoria. Not sure how to pronounce that one. A studio founded by former Atomic Games CEO Peter
English?
Tomte? Tamte? I'm not sure how to say his last name.
Stamped?
Peter. Yeah, it's probably just stamped. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. What makes this story even more interesting is that the game is being worked on by a whole bunch of ex-Bungie devs.
Ooh.
Tamped himself was the executive vice president of Bungie during Halo Combat Evolved. Jamie Grisimer is the former lead developer of Halo and Destiny and is now part of 6 Days of Fallujah's dev team. Marty O'Donnell,
Oh,
the original Halo composer, is the lead composer in 6 Days of Fallujah. Along with that, there are also design directors, design, character, vehicle, and weapon artists who are all working on this game, who are also all former Bungie employees. While this game will most likely still be met with some criticism, we are now a lot farther away from the actual battle than we were in 2009. Along with that, Highwire Games is making sure the game is as authentic as possible, touting that, quote, over 100 Marines, soldiers, and Iraqi civilians have been interviewed to ensure authenticity, end quote. To lastly note, the game has changed from a third person to a first person tactical shooter.
Next Halo, baby, let's go.
imagine starting it up. It's got the Gregorian chant at the beginning.
So what do you guys think of this? It's kind of okay, so I guess there's two things about this. First, what do you think about this game? Because it is about the Fallujah battle. If you don't know anything about that, it was the biggest land battle in the Iraqi war. Had to do with the coalition, which was the
Yeah,
United States,
I
and then
I, I remember this now because I remember people freaking out about it
yeah,
vaguely.
because a big part of this is that this battle had just happened 5 years prior. There were still so many Iraqi vets were a thing, Afghanistan vets were a thing, and they still are, of course. But like it was really like prominent back then, like all the
It
PTSD. You had
sounds like they're
American
trying to do this in good faith, though. Like how they're interviewing
hmm
people and stuff. It sounds
Mhm.
like they're trying to go about this in good faith.
I'm curious as to like what it will be, like
I
how
hope
it'll be
it's
presented.
other
If
than
it'll
it
Yeah,
being
be
first person. I'm
interesting.
curious what type of game it will be. Other than like the fact that they're all Halo developers, the only thing that tells me is that they know how to work together. So they're all going to
mhm.
be on the same page, and it won't be a
And
bunch
they
of
know how to make
disorganized.
a
I
good
doubt.
first-person shooter. I don't know
Well,
about the
I
story.
doubt it's going to feel anything like Halo, but like these
No,
guys know how to work together.
Yeah, I
be
So
think
able to
it's
that
like moon
important.
jump.
that I'm positive in.
From what I was getting was, I didn't know too much about the Iraqi War, so I actually went and read about the Fallujah battles, and this was actually the second battle of Fallujah. Um, but it was the largest ground battle, and a lot of it was like house to house because they were going through a city and there's enemies everywhere. So they had to, break down a door, go through it, check the corners, check everything. And sometimes, they would be rigged with a bomb or there were enemies inside and things like that. So my vibe was it's gonna feel either like kind of like Rainbow Six Siege, which is I would call a first person tactical shooter, or the newest Modern Warfare game. If you played that, they had those parts where you were like, cut the power, put your night vision on, and you're actually like going into the house and checking all the corners and checking all the doors and stuff. I think it's going to be something like that.
I hope it's more akin to that. Modern Warfare, a lot of their missions were based off of like real life, like active duty missions and stuff.
Mhm.
So
Mm,
I bet you it'll feel a bit
yeah.
more like that, which will be an interesting experience at the very least. Like that's just going to be an
Will I
interesting
be
experience.
will I be able to aim down the sights?
Yes, you will be. I
Jake,
can't
I got
imagine.
real questions.
Can I
Yeah, I
It's
don't
not gonna
know.
be
sprint?
like Fallout 3 where I just aim the reticle like closer in.
You actually have the VAT system, which the American soldiers actually had in this battle for whatever reason.
American soldiers were issued with their own Pip Boy 3000s.
They also had their own AI companions that talked in your head.
I there is already a little controversy about this game too that I was reading, of course, but it's not the controversy you think it would be. What a lot of people are worried about now, apparently, or allegedly, is that this is going to be U.S. Army propaganda because there are some
I mean, it could be.
allegations
It very well
of
could
some
be.
war crimes that happened in this battle from the United States. Use of white phosphorus, civilian casualties, and things like that. And some people are worried that this game is going to be tampered with by the U.S. Army to shine them in a positive light.
Yeah, because I
And
don't know if you can even use official like U.S. Army stuff in your game unless it is propaganda.
mhm.
Like that's
and
how it
the
is in movies too. Like they
I
won't
mean,
let you.
there are some stuff that are like it's free reign for anybody, but like yeah, like games like Call of Duty are heavily supported by them. That's why they're always pro
the
them. But
good
like
guys
Mhm.
stuff, yeah.
Like
um
in the movies, like if you wanted to make the U.S. Army the bad
oh
guy,
dude.
it'd be like, well, get all your own military equipment because we're not giving it to you.
Well,
hmm
that's the thing. The military has a huge hand in the movie industry. Like
Hmm. Like look
they
at all
they
the
su-
Michael Bay
they
movies.
well, it's not even Michael Bay. It's a lot of movies that they put a
Well,
hand
yeah,
in and
that's just the most
support.
prominent one.
Yeah, that's just the most obvious ones.
And he takes full advantage of it too because he's like, I want to use all this military equipment. All I got to do is make like what one trailer for them in my movie, and then I get all this free stuff. Hell yeah,
Yeah, man.
American flags everywhere.
The one thing I saw people pointing out was that there's no official thing saying that they are working with the U.S. military or anything, but apparently in the description on Steam or something, I'm not sure where it was, they capitalized the S in soldier, which
Which means
shouldn't be
Cloud will be in your game.
capitalized. But apparently, some people in the U.S. Army have been trying to make this a thing to make it a proper noun.
Hmm.
So that's people saying like, look, see, they are tampering with this. So I
That
think
sounds
it's
like a
important.
stretch and a half.
Just
Yeah, I'm
just wait
excited
and
to play
see.
this game.
Mhm.
I think the dev team around it. At first, I was like, "Oh, it's a no-name studio," but then when you start reading who's in it, I was like, "Okay, wait, time out." Like,
Just Marty O'Donnell being involved at all in it gives me faith that it'll be a good
hmm
project. Because
hmm
he usually doesn't put his name on anything that isn't good.
yeah. So I'm excited. It looked good from the trailer. Trailers always look good. Um, but yeah, it's just a wait and see type thing.
Mhm.
So,
I'm excited. It'll be different.
hmm yeah, we don't really have games like this, honestly.
Yeah, that alone makes it worth it.
Especially when it's not called Medal of Honor or Call of Duty. So, you
So
know,
nice. The
yeah.
fact that they're interviewing people makes me like honestly twice as excited.
hmm
Mhm.
I know I just said not like Medal of Honor, but it kind of reminds me of the newest Medal of Honor game that came out. That was the VR title because, uh, the game was kind of mediocre for a VR title, and I was like, yeah, it's fine. But the coolest thing was they had interviewed a ton of World War II vets and stuff, which, I'm always about that, like fucking Band of Brothers type shit, or anything like that where they have actual interviews. I think that's awesome.
That was my favorite part about that show.
Mhm.
hmm Yeah.
It could be cool because they did those trailers for Halo 3 where they were interviewing like fake veterans of the UNSC Covenant War, and
Now
it
they're
was
gonna have
filmed
real.
very Band of Brothers.
Yeah,
And
that's
yeah,
what
you could do that to market this movie. You could do that exact trailer, but with
yeah,
real people.
that's what he was
Well,
talking about with Band of Brothers. That's what they
hmm
did.
hmm
Well, actually, if you look at the first trailer they do that. Like they're sitting there talking about how they interviewed everyone, and they show some of them. Like they did that.
hmm
I'll watch the
I don't think
trailer
it's
for that
as
alone.
I
I
don't
didn't
think it's
realize they had
as
a whole
cinematic,
trailer out.
but yep. So keep an eye out for that one.
Cool.
Okay, now we're gonna get to the rapid fire part of the
Bang
news.
bang bang.
Now, again, we can delve into any of these that you guys want to. I'm gonna read them really quickly though, and then we can go back. Some of these there's really nothing to say. Others, there's probably a lot to say. Two of these, the first one and then coincidentally the last one, were supposed to be main story topics, but I didn't know how long the last two are going to take, so I'm sure we will delve into them.
Okay.
But these are your quick burst. WB patents the Nemesis system.
So what is that?
We'll get into it.
We'll get right back to that.
It's stuff from
Um,
Shadow Mordor.
The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles is rated for PS4, Switch, and PC.
Oh yeah.
Tales from the Borderlands is coming back on February 17th. Infamously, it was lost during the shutdown of Telltale Games. It is back now.
Cool.
Kingdom Hearts is coming to PC for the first time ever and is an Epic Game Store exclusive.
Of course it is.
Post Malone is holding a virtual Pokemon concert on February 27th. Axiom
Cool.
Verge 2 was announced, and it will also be an Epic Game Store exclusive.
And I hate that so much.
It's confirmed that a second Sonic film called Sonic 2 is currently in development for an April 8th, 2022 release date, which we kind of talked about the first story, but
Oh yeah.
it's there too. And then the stolen CD Projekt Red source code was confirmed to have been sold allegedly for millions of dollars.
There's a lot of
So
dolls.
are there any of those that you guys want to delve deeper into? Jake, I know you asked about the first one.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
what that is. The
So the
first one.
Nemesis system, I don't know if you ever played Shadow Mordor or Shadow War. To my knowledge, it started in Shadow
Oh,
Mordor. But
that's
yeah,
that's right. I know what that is now.
The first
it's
game, yeah. Shadow
Yeah.
Mordor is where it
they
started.
have like these stuff where they pop up. Honestly, in my opinion, the Nemesis system is like one of the best things to come out in a while,
hmm
especially from WB, but just like as a mechanic. And I always
Because you'd
wanted to
have like
see it.
rivalries build up with
Mhm.
You would what it
AI.
did is it allowed you to create not just rivalries, it allows you to create your own
hmm
stories from the game, like your own personal stories that you yourself experienced, you know? You
hmm
have this one guy with his specific resistances that combated your specific build, and he became at first maybe he became a nemesis, like an adversary, and then maybe you decide to recruit him and have him go after somebody else, you know? Foe turned friend, maybe somebody else has a similar situation and they kill him and then that guy comes back from the dead or his brother comes back for you. It allows video game stories to happen. And in my
hmm
opinion, it's one of the best things to ever come out. And I always wanted them to do so much more with it. WB patenting it,
That's kind of
I
lame.
have mixed feelings about it because I think they deserve to patent it. They came up with it. It's theirs. I think it's like in the right. But at the same time, I really wanted to see other studios tackle that type of mechanic
And to be
and
fair,
how they do it. Yeah,
after all this time, no one did.
yeah.
Well,
So
the thing is, so yeah, basically what Roger said was correct.
Mhm.
That was a good explanation of it. And WB, you said no one else has done it. That's because since its conception, WB has been trying to patent it. This is like
Okay.
their 8th attempt, and they finally got it. And unlike your mixed results, I have negative results towards this. I was listening to some other podcasters talk about this, and not that I'm saying that they're influencing the way that I think about it. I think they just put it really well. Um, it's that games inherently are iterative of previous
Derivative.
titles, derivative, thank you, or iterative,
Yeah.
of previous titles that weren't made by said company. You go back to the very first game,
Shadow Mordor is just Assassin's Creed,
exactly.
basically.
what the
You
Nemesis
know,
system is. Here's the
uh,
problem with
Yeah.
that argument. Like I get where you're coming from. The problem with that argument is that's true with any sort of art form, including like movies and stuff. So like
well,
I
exactly,
don't know.
yeah. It is. It's like in a movie if someone patented the like wide shot
Hmm.
when it first happened.
As in, like, I
They had
get it
tight
because
shots
it's
the whole time, and then someone made a wide shot. And like, I'm patenting this. It's a wide shot. It's mine. It's like,
like
yes,
Mortal Kombat.
technically you did make the wide shot, but like, that's kind of how this industry works. Is that we build off what other people create, and that's
It's
how
Mhm.
like
games
Mortal
work
Kombat
too.
patenting fatalities.
Yeah, or something like that. I mean,
Mhm.
an infamous one was fucking Bandai Namco patenting
Playable
playable
loading
loading
screen.
screens.
Mhm.
And it
Oh my
fucked
god.
everything up. That's why we have lame ass loading screens now, is because Bandai back 30 years ago was
I
like,
So
this is ours.
I believe
the
that
problem
patent
is
is up though, but no
It
one cares
is.
now.
But no one
how
cares now
far
because it's been
how
so
far
long.
does this patent go? Because the Nemesis system is kind of a undefined. Like you can make different versions of it and not have it
I
called the
believe it'll
Nemesis
be
system.
enough to have legal standing in court to block it if they wanted to.
Yeah.
I
And I
just I
think that's
just
why
wonder how detailed that Nemesis system does go. Because like I know what they mean when they talk about it, but I wonder how much you could change things to make it the same but different.
yeah, I'm sure it has to do with like their specific. I would hope it's not something like, oh, enemies remember you and then they become more powerful or whatever. Hopefully it's something that has to do with like the specific coding in it.
Mhm.
Um but even then
Because that
it's
was the
like,
thing. Like, even like when people were making their own games unofficially for Nintendo, they had standing because they came up with their own code. So unless it's like exactly copying their code, that's where it's like if they did copy paste their code, I understand that legally, but like
mhm.
I don't see that that would be the case in this patent. If if
I
you made
will,
your own
the, you
code
know
that was
what?
similar to
They
it.
better they better go far with this system then, because
Hmm.
this is one
I
of the
don't think
best
they
systems to come out in a while.
I
I
don't.
don't think they
Yeah,
will either. That's the
it'd be
problem. I
cool
want to
to
see
see
somebody else
like
tackle.
other games, like
Yeah,
maybe like a Mortal
imagine
Kombat game that like because they've added mechanics to it to
well,
change your character,
imagine what this
make
would
more
do
the
to like
AI
a
better.
Ubisoft game or something, like a Nemesis
Hmm.
system in a Ubisoft game. I
that'd
feel
be
like that
awesome.
would
Like
that would
Assassin's Creed.
revitalize those types of games, even though they currently
And
have been revitalized.
Hmm.
But
kind of what you're saying, Roger, I hope they use this too because this is WB. They're making that new Harry Potter game.
Yeah, it'd be
There's
cool to have that
tons
in
of
like Harry
potential.
Potter or like their DC games.
I
Um,
just don't think they will. Like, I
yeah,
think this was a thing that was made specifically for the Middle Earth games, which I think they will continue, even though Shadow of War didn't sell as well.
yeah. Well,
I
Shadow
think,
War ended. I don't know how they're going to continue that.
yeah, I think they'll make Lord of the Rings like something in
Yeah,
that universe. Maybe
true.
to the
to give
hype
us
of the
the
Amazon
HD
show coming out.
collection.
But I think it'll be used for that and then nothing else. And no other developer is going to go near this now because, like, regardless if the patent runs out in 10, 15, 20, 30 years or whatever, it's like, why even bother at this point? Like,
Hmm.
it's going to be a battle. It's a headache. It sucks that they did this. Again, I understand you want to protect your like idea and you want to protect your property, but at the same time, when like WB didn't make this, people made this. You know,
True. It
like it
was
was
those are who
coders,
developed games,
game
yeah.
designers, and stuff. It
That was
wasn't WB.
and that was such a smart thing for them to do, to be honest. Like
Hmm.
it, I was really impressed with the Nemesis system because it created a lot of unique stories.
It made that game. Like that game, it was cool on its own, but like it
Like,
was the Nemesis system that
imagine
made that game.
Cyberpunk with S game or whatever that kind of world they're going for, but with a Nemesis system. That'd be cool.
That game would explode. Just kidding, it already does explode.
Or like an open world GTA style or Red Dead with a Nemesis
Yeah.
system would be really cool.
Like if there's like a cop that like in GTA that's like, you son of a bitch, this is
Like
the
your
fourth
Officer
time or something. I don't
Tenpenny.
know.
Like your Officer Tenpenny. Like your own personal Officer
and
Tenpenny.
and the way that the Nemesis system works is like the enemies can also like, they start low ranks, but then they can be like promoted to captains and stuff like that. You
Hmm.
could implement that in a lot of different things.
Hmm.
Like
It
the,
seems like a very vague system to
That's what
copyright
I'm
or
saying. I
patent.
wonder how you could work around it with that patent, like how deep that
Hmm.
goes, because it is kind of vague. But like what the concept is. But if you try and get into
Yeah.
the nitty gritty,
and
like it gets fine.
I'm hoping the patent is specific because it was the eighth time that they tried or something like it was a
Like
lot of
if they
times.
patented it, it should be for that exact code.
Yeah.
If it's something you came up with on your own, even if it is very similar, it shouldn't count. That'd be like Nintendo being able to block every 3D platformer or
Hmm.
2D platformer
Yeah.
because
So
it's like Mario. Like they'd be able to block Braid and Sonic and uh, Pac
everything,
Land.
everything.
Yeah,
Like,
everything.
yeah.
Bubsy.
No, not Bubsy.
Sorry, you can't jump in your game because we patented jumping.
Yeah, we have the jump, man.
Um,
You can't have
but
a big ape in your game.
here's, I guess, I don't know. We won't really keep an eye out on that. It's a thing now, but
Hmm.
hopefully more game studios don't look at this like fucking, I don't know. WB is pretty pedestrian. I'm hoping EA or Activision doesn't look at this, be like, oh, we can patent shit like this now, because I
Oh
could see
god,
this being a slippery slope into like,
dude. Can
you
you
know,
imagine Activision patenting some stuff?
oh my god, it'd be
Christ.
awful.
Imagine Ubisoft patenting assassinations.
It'd be like if someone patented battle royale, like,
Oh God, Epic Games right on that,
yeah. Oh
or
shit.
the people who made the
Actually, I'll come back to this, but I think Epic Games did try to patent some stupid shit
well,
like
didn't no, wasn't it the guys who made PUBG try to patent like the battle royale or
Yeah,
try
they
to get
did.
in fight with a Fortnite because
They
of it?
they did, and they
that. Oh
failed.
yeah, yeah,
They-
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So it's just a bad,
Which
not a good thing.
technically neither of them did. Minecraft's Hunger Games did it. Whoever came up with that game mode, good on them.
Well, it's not
Just
even
throwing
like, I don't
millions.
know. I don't know. Battle Royale isn't an original concept. It's just like
Yeah, yeah.
those Call of Duty modes. They're like, you start with 12 people and you each have one life.
Hmm.
That's it. Battle Royale, go, boom. Um, but yeah.
Slayer.
Any others of these that spark your interest? I know the CD Projekt Red story. I just didn't want to talk about them anymore.
Hmm.
It's
I don't blame you.
I don't
the
care
code.
really. Like,
The
yeah,
code got sold. It sucks. Don't be an asshole. Don't do this. But
Your
at the same time,
your,
it's like I don't
I mean,
care.
the story
your
was that
inner
it happened.
smoker
And yes,
7-year-old
it
is
sold.
starting to show just from the mention of CD Project Red.
I
Cyberpunk's
feel
put
like
years on my age.
Cyberpunk is irreversibly damaged CD Project Red
Yeah.
I want to ask why Axiom Verge 2 made you upset, Jake.
because
What
it's
is
coming
that?
out Epic Game Store exclusive.
Yeah, but what is Axiom Verge?
Oh, it's a super cool like Metroidvania style game that
You would
came
you
out.
would like that.
But it's cool because the guy made it everything by himself. Like it was just
Mhm.
a full on passion project, and it's really high quality. The music's great. The gameplay is awesome. It's got a really neat like glitch mechanic.
Maybe
Um,
he got a lot of money from Epic Game Store to make an even better
Oh yeah.
game.
Millions.
Probably, but
He
he
got
got tons of money
millions.
from the first game. Uh, the thing is, like,
So
they haven't announced if it's coming to console. It probably will. So I'll probably get it on console. But the fact that if I wanted to play it on PC, I have to go to the Epic Game Store. It's just another reason not. It's like I hate all these exclusive quote unquote games coming to the Epic Game
that's how it
Store.
works. That's how it works now. I mean, they're playing the game right by supporting these people.
Yeah,
I mean, if you are Epic and you're trying to make this thing, this store page or whatever you want to call it, platform,
I
this
mean,
is
it's
what you have to do
great
because you're
for
fighting
developers.
you're fighting Steam, the biggest thing, the biggest game thing on earth.
I think
Like,
it's good for Steam. I think Steam needs that competition though.
Because
I agree.
I mean, the thing is, it's great for developers because they get a better share of profits from the games that are on there.
Hmm.
Plus, I'm sure they get a shitload of money just to be exclusive on there, let alone to be on there. Um,
I just don't like
I don't know.
Epic Games and their ties with like, aren't they like partially owned by Tencent and that's Chinese stuff? And I don't
I
like
think
it.
so.
I don't
Yeah,
like it.
I can see them having some shady roots.
Hmm.
It's just Valve
So
is a lot more of like, I know Valve,
yeah,
like and they've never really been that bad of a company. So
no, they just don't make the third game in a series.
yeah, they
That's
hate
it.
the number three, and they don't give developers as much, which will probably change because of the Epic Game Store. But they've never been like this, where it's like Steam is the exclusive
You know
place to
what?
play this game.
Actually, you know what? Fuck Valve.
Yeah,
You know why?
why?
Because Valve bought, I think it's called Team Los Santo, who made Firewatch, and they're making that one game, Valley of the Gods or something.
Mm-hmm.
But then Steam bought them, Valve bought them, and then they had them make the new Half-Life Alyx game. What the fuck?
I
I
mean,
heard that.
like
I heard
that's a
that
good
game was
game.
good.
Oh yeah, it's
At
probably
least,
it's like said one of the best. It's people are saying
at
it should have been
least,
game of the year. Like it was
at
that good.
least they are making games again. We'll give them that. Like,
Oh, they
Yeah,
bought a game person to. They literally had to go out and buy a developer to make them a game, which it turned
but
out
they
to be one
did.
of the
They
best games.
made a game.
I
That's
mean,
the important part.
that's what they did with a lot of their games though. Like with
No,
Portal,
I
like they just bought up a couple of kids that had a proof of concept in their like college class that they were like, oh, that's cool. We're gonna give
Well,
you a
they need to do
franchise.
that again because we got some of the best games from those college kids.
Yeah, I
hmm
mean, like, and I'm sure there would have been a third Portal because it seemed like people were passionate
No,
about those games, but it's because of Valve.
we
They
Eh,
just shut it
can't have
down.
threes.
you can't have threes. Yeah. Any other of these do you care about? Any big Kingdom Hearts fans? I don't fucking care. I don't care about any of the rest of
It's
the
cool.
shit,
That's
honestly.
it's coming to like everything. I guess it's not no
What?
longer a PlayStation exclusive. Totally.
How is Tales from Borderlands coming back?
So when Telltale Games got shut down, um,
Yeah.
all their games delisted from marketplaces, digital marketplaces, and physical
Oh,
too. For
so you
in a
just mean the
sense,
actual game is like coming back onto the
the
marketplace?
game is coming back to the marketplace, yes, and it's coming to Switch for the first time.
I
And
thought you meant like they're coming out with another season or whatever.
no, no, no.
Okay.
But if you've never played Tales from the Borderlands, holy shit, best Telltale game. I don't care
Yeah,
what
I've heard
anyone
it's
says.
one of their best.
It's fantastic.
I
Like
have it for Xbox One. I still haven't played it.
I'm not a big fan of Telltale games. I played The Walking Dead. I played some of the other ones.
I think they're
And I
good.
honestly don't really like Borderlands at all. But holy shit, is Tales from the Borderlands good? Like it's good. So can't recommend that
Yeah, I
enough.
remember
It's
watching Cody play it when he was over, and it was like looks like a good game.
yeah.
You piqued my interest. I didn't expect that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Borderlands is quote unquote funny because it's like stupid memey funny. This one is actually funny because it's well written funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's good.
Like
All right.
I'm really happy I picked it up on clearance for $5 at Walmart.
Look up the scene on YouTube, like the finger gun scene. It'll sell you on the game. Like it's so good.
Man, the big robot guy just sells me on the whole game.
Yeah.
He's
So,
great.
all right. Well, that's the
Well,
news. Oh,
there
sorry,
was
Jake. Didn't mean to
one
interrupt you.
news that didn't get listed. I wanted to talk about, and
No,
that's
no, 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 wait, wait,
no,
wait. I think I know what you're gonna say. We're saving that for next week because it just
next
broke
week.
today.
It
Well,
wasn't
yeah.
today. It was like a couple days ago.
Okay. What are you gonna say?
I mean, it's what you think.
What is it?
But Grezzo.
Yeah, I was gonna save that for next week
Okay.
because I don't. I wanted to delve a little more into like Grezzo's history and what kind of game it could be and things like that. So,
Okay. All right. Well, we'll just cut this.
Yeah.
eh,
Shut your mouth, Jake.
yeah, we'll leave it in. It's a little
Okay.
teaser. Tune in next week to
Hey.
hear about Grezzo. But with all that in mind, we're gonna go ahead and move on to our second to final segment, which is the new big releases of this week. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I fucking struggled to find a big game coming out this week. Like I struggled,
It's
but I found
February.
4. So yeah,
All
I
right.
know. Um, tradition dictates. Who goes first? I don't know.
Me.
Jake,
It's
tradition
me.
dictates that you go first. So you start us off with that first number one game.
All right. So our first release for this week is 30XS. Is 30XX in early access for PC. Jump, shoot, slash your way through 30XX, a roguelike action platformer you can play with a friend. Explore lush, ever-changing worlds that mix precise platforming with fevered combat. Destroy fearsome guardians. Master unique powers. Now,
So
is
this
this a
is
sequel to 20XX?
yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And 20XX is the
A Mega Man
um
X spiritual successor
yeah, it's a
game, or
Mega Man
yeah.
X spiritual successor, which it's good. I played 20XX and at first I was like, ah, this is dumb, but then I was like, oh no, wait, hold on,
Hmm.
time out. This is
And
good.
the game's like $2 too if you don't
Mhm.
have it. Like, it's worth picking up.
So if you're a Mega Man fan out there that's been itching, Mega Man X fan, I guess,
Mhm.
that's been itching, play 20XX and then 30XX is coming out as well.
It's weird because it's like the mechanically Mega Man X, but like it thematically OG Mega Man.
No, I like it. I like the mixture of the two.
Hmm.
So, Roger, friend, buddy, pal, you got the next one.
I hate tradition. Speed Limit is coming out for PS4, Xbox, Switch, and PC. Speed Limit is a non-stop genre warping arcade experience that never slows down. No cuts, no lapses in the chaos. Speed Limit is an old school action extravaganza boiled down to its core elements. Hard, fast, addictive. As soon as you think you've learned how the game works, it changes to a completely different genre, taking you through the history of the golden arcade era. Fight through nail-biting side-scrolling shooter, race to the finish an explosive top-down car chase, take flight in a thrilling fake 3D dogfight, and expect the unexpected. Speed Limit seamlessly changes styles, transforms the gameplay, and offers a new challenge the moment you feel comfortable. A genre-changing roller coaster running, driving, flying, dying many, many times. From the moment you click to the moment you die, you are in control, and you will die a lot.
All right. I kind of like the sound of that, honestly.
Yeah, it seems a little like a little neat little, I don't
Yeah.
know, of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
ages type game.
$10, $15 game. Be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, if it's that, I might see what it's about. I don't feel like it's gonna have anything amazing about it. It'll just be like, huh, I
No.
remember this. I remember this type of level from that game.
Yeah, exactly.
This is like that.
Next one is SNK versus Capcom Match of the Millennium for Switch. SNK versus Capcom, the match for the Millennium, is a crossover fighting game developed and published by SNK for the Neo Geo Pocket Color in 1999, now on Switch.
Yeah, all right.
Um,
I like Capcom crossover games. So
so I actually couldn't find a description for this game anywhere. The Nintendo online store is fucking trash. Like when you're trying to find a game that's not out, you can't find it. So I copied and pasted like the first line from Wikipedia and then added the sentence now on Switch.
Good old
so
Wikipedia.
I wonder if they'll it's Neo Geo Pocket Color. I don't know how graphically intense that is. I wonder if it'll be updated at all.
It might break the Switch. Jake, you got our last one.
All right. The last game for this week is Aldeus Beyond Chronos for PC VR, a sci-fi adventure full of robot battles, pop music, and emotion, featuring one of the largest branching
Same.
storylines ever
This
in a
guy.
VR game, with 15 to 20 hours of gameplay. Aldeus will place you in the shoes of Chloe, a pilot in humanity's forces fighting massive hostile organisms known as Matoria.
So this game actually came out on Oculus Quest late last year, and it's more of a VR visual novel. Like there's not much gameplay at all.
See, that's the thing. I'm
What
like 15 to 20 hours. Like, I don't know if I want to be in a VR headset that long for a game.
Yeah,
a VR visual novel? Like, what's the point? Are you
I
just watching
don't know.
slideshows in VR? Like, I don't
I
get
think
that.
I know what this game is. Like they
You
have
probably
some
do.
sections where you like investigate areas because I was looking through the games on the Quest when I got it, and it looked neat. At least like, but like I don't know if I'd want to sit. I don't like visual novels.
You know what they should
Yeah.
do for like a VR game like that, or it's like a visual novel, is create like an actual 3D space that you just kind of sit in, and
But
then have your
I think
3D
that is
anime girls come up and talk to you.
I think that is what happens during certain sections, but I don't know how large those sections are because majority of the screenshots were the standard 2D cutouts of people talking with text underneath them.
They just need to have the Japanese classroom or
Listen,
whatever,
give
and
me a
then like
Sakura
you're in
game
it.
in VR, and I'll be
And you can
fine.
actually you can look out
Jake,
the
you can't
window
say
like you're a protagonist.
Huh?
that. I
I
said,
can't.
Jake, you can't say that. You just said that your birthday was like tomorrow. You outed your age. You can't say that.
Like what? What do you mean?
Dude, your age is going to be over in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, like
Happy birthday.
what's about Sakura?
Sakura, aren't those like a bunch of high school girls?
I don't know. I just know the one I know of is about
I don't know.
the only one I know anything about of is one Gang Grumps played, and it was about like these Fox Spirit girls. I don't know how old they are.
I don't know. I just know that
If
it's
it's
like,
Japan, probably 10.
yeah, or a million.
Yeah, well, I mean, a million years old with a 10-year-old's body.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah.
Well, this is getting a little weird, so we're gonna go ahead. Do any of these games stick out for you? For me, I don't know. 30XX. I haven't seen
Yeah,
anything about it, but if it's anything like 20XX, it's probably good.
I'll check it
And
out.
these other ones don't. I
Yeah,
don't-
literally none of these.
yeah,
Like my birthday's in 10 minutes.
it's
So we
kind
got
of
to
a
keep this
weak.
going for 10 minutes so we can sing him happy birthday.
Well, we do have ending. Tradition dictates that I ask you guys for any ending questions or discussions that you
All
might
these rules and traditions, can't take it anymore.
I do have to talk to you guys about a tangent about my favorite game series and movies, Halo and Star Wars.
You're a little
Um,
Yes.
anarchists over here don't like the traditions.
Tradition dictates that we talk about Halo and Star Wars for at least an hour. We have not
I'm
done
gonna
that.
Gonna
next
have
week
to.
I'll switch up some things and Roger's mind is gonna fucking melt.
He's like, wait, that's not what tradition
I'm
dictates.
gonna have
Wait a
him read
second.
first and he's gonna be like
This
don't
isn't traditional.
Like tradition dictates. Roger pulls his pants down and sends a photo into Andrew to edit into the podcast. It's like, wait a minute, we've never done that before.
Hold
I
up a
should do
minute.
that. I for the video podcast all I have is just the logo for however long it is. I should do like one frame randomly in there of just like I don't know, some random photo of us and see if anyone notices.
Dude, I'd be
Don't
down
even
for us
tell
doing a video
who it
podcast
is.
sometime.
um
Yeah,
yeah, I
my
mean
2 pixel camera. No.
yeah.
I'll just
Little like
buy a
see that
webcam.
see that red dot? That's Roger.
Yeah.
He's in a red shirt today, so that's all we see is
It'll
red.
just be like a picture with a audio wave around it.
um I mean, I don't know. We could give it a little tease. I know we're gonna do our bonus episode here soon. Things haven't been as on top as usual on the YouTube channel because life hits you fucking hard. Apparently I'm going back to school and getting a puppy all within 2 weeks makes
Hey,
it
hey.
a little difficult to you know have free time, but
Hmm.
it's definitely going to start ramping back up and I do want to do monthly exclusive podcasts for the Patreon to try to incentivize some more people to get onto there because this podcast, I think I mentioned a couple episodes that we're over 1,000 downloads. I mean, we're around 1,300 downloads now, so it's still
Oh
like
yeah,
it's still
you got
going
all
strong
1,300
too.
computers going strong.
Yeah, yep, I got every day just have that re-download bot going on. And it's spreading. It's not just in India anymore. Last I checked, it's fucking global. Like New Zealand, Australia, Sweden, Ethiopia, Canada, um, Bolivia. Like it's crazy. It's like
Any
all
uh,
over.
any
I love you,
Swedish girls
Sweden.
want to hook me up with your
I'm gonna
internet?
say it.
Let me know.
Russia.
Let me live there, Sweden.
We had
Russia's.
one from Russia, so shout
Please.
out to our Russian listener,
I'm gonna take a shot in the dark. Ivan, you're my favorite guy.
Ivan. um, but yeah, so I mean, it's doing well, and hopefully we can. I mean, I don't know, because I still want to do that episode where we have our ideal Star Wars game. I think that would
Hmm.
be a fun one to
Oh my
do.
god, I just had a like. Could you imagine if Vladimir Putin was a big fan of our podcast?
He's the one from Russia.
He's the only one.
Vladimir, listen. Okay, this
Vlad.
is real talk. Wait. Heart to heart, Andrew to Vladimir, one dictator to another.
Yeah.
If you are that much of a fan, which I believe you are, then I ask you to please don't force it, but wink wink, have all your Russian citizens download this podcast and give us positive ratings. That's all I ask.
Just encourage them.
We will do anything for you. We will
And
betray our
Jake
government for you.
will do
Now,
anything.
I'm not going to do that. I'm an American. I like America.
I mean, I
America
like
too.
America, but I'll betray my government on the flip of the hat. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That just reminds me. Do you remember that one? This is so off topic now, but you're talking about betraying America to Russia. Did you guys hear about that one lady that she was a part of the Capitol riots, and she I don't know what she stole. It was like a laptop or
Yeah, she stole
something.
Nancy Pelosi's laptop. And tried to
Yeah,
sell
and
it
she
to
was
Russia.
trying to sell it to Russia.
Like, it's kind of like counterintuitive to your cause, there, isn't it?
Like, it's really fucking extreme.
She's on that grind,
I guess, like,
playing
fucking
both
A.
sides.
That's the ones you gotta look out for. Like the dudes in there, they're just fucking, taking pictures with podiums and kicking their feet up and stuff. But then you have the women that snuck in and they're trying to fucking commit
Okay.
international espionage.
I mean,
It's
how many
always
opportunities do you get to commit international espionage?
It's true.
you're right. Gotta take
You
the
gotta take 'em while you
opportunities
get
as
'em.
they hit them.
Could have been Carmen San Diego for all we know.
How about this? Are there any games you guys are looking forward to playing this week? If you have any free time, it's going to be snowed in a lot. Weather's kind
Yeah.
of shitty.
You know,
Anything
tomorrow.
forward to?
I've been really wanting to play Resident Evil.
Oh,
Which one? Which one?
Probably 2 and 3.
yeah,
Like the
The
remakes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, they're so good.
Like, there's still a part of me that wants to beat 1. I know how it ends. I know
No.
everything about 1.
Dude, I liked the first
Um,
one, the
but
remaster.
I beat 0, and I really liked 0.
It's
Oh, you beat Zero?
just
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Nice.
exactly like the first one.
Because it's built on the first one's
Mhm.
remastered engine.
You should
So
play
it's basically
first.
the
I
same
mean,
game.
it's a good
And I played a
game.
decent
to
amount of
this
the first
day.
one. Like, I got to the graveyard.
Yeah, the first one's good. The only problem is that 2, 3, Code Veronica, and 4 are all much better. But I guess if you did want to play them all, you should play the first one first because you're definitely not
Code
going to want to go back after you play the other ones.
Yeah.
Code
And that
Veronica
was
was
my
on
fear,
sale.
too.
It's close to buying it.
And
They're so good. Code
thing
Veronica
is,
is so good.
I want to just go back to where I was, but it's been so long since I played last, I will not know what I'm doing.
I mean, it's
Look
not a
up a
long.
guide.
It's not a long game. You can
No,
just
no,
play through it.
I beat Resident Evil 0 in like a night or 2.
Yeah, you could do that.
So
with
it was
first one
really
easy.
quick. So I'll probably just pull up a guide because I was playing all on my own without a guide.
Yeah,
So-
that's how you do it.
mhm.
Yeah, Resident Evil is such an interesting game series to play chronologically because it's like, yeah, there is an overarching story and all that, but at the same time, it's like you don't really need to play any of them in any order. I think my first one was 4, and then I played 6, and
Yeah,
then I played
one
1.
person played those games in order.
Yeah,
That-
like mine
nobody
is so
does.
out of whack.
I really want to play 4, but do you
Yeah, 4 is a good
recommend a particular version over another one for 4?
No,
I've heard the
they're
Wii
all,
one's the best one, but I've never played it. They're all the same.
they're all the same. Just play 4 wherever you can. It's fine.
Because I have it
It'll-
on Xbox One and PS4.
It'll
it's the
feel a
same
little
either way.
awkward for an hour, and then you'll get used to it.
Yep. So, no.
Should I play
think-
it before I
think-
play 2 and 3 remake?
Literally won't matter. It's so different. It won't matter.
Okay.
It'll be jarring with the controls at first, but like you said, give it an hour, you'll be.
And where should I play Code Veronica? Like, at what point should I play that one?
Code Veronica takes place after Resident Evil 2, in between 2 and 3, I believe.
Okay.
Okay.
Right after
Or
3.
After 3.
After 3.
So I should play.
But again, you don't need to play 3 to play Code Veronica.
No, it's a
Because-
different. You only need to play the
ones,
second.
The main ones I want to play are 2, 3, and 7.
Those are the best ones.
You should play
Resident
Code
Evil
Veronica.
In my opinion, Resident Evil 2 is the best Resident Evil game we've gotten.
But I want to
Mm-hmm.
finish with 7, so it's fresh in my mind when 8 comes out.
Hmm.
So I want to play through all these before 8 comes out.
7's
Good
scary,
luck.
man.
Mhm.
I'm telling you that right now. Like I was playing through 7. It's a legitimately scary game.
Oh yeah, I
Like-
was watching you play.
And 2 is also legitimately scary. Like
Mhm.
when you're in that police station and that fucking bastard is chasing after you. Oh my god.
Dude, 3 is
So
just kind of
stressful.
just it's just whatever.
3 is good because it's different. It's like
Hmm.
not. It's
It feels like Alien, like the difference between Alien and Aliens.
yeah, like they're good for different reasons. I like 3 because it's like the same engine, the same. Actually, they kind of refine the gameplay a little bit more to give it a little more action.
Hmm.
But you're still in that world, and you're still dealing with those events. And I don't know. I know a lot of people don't like 3. I like 3, but what's
And
new?
then after you play all the Resident Evil games, you have to play both the Evil Within games.
Yeah.
Hmm.
See, I want to play and I've also like lately really wanted to play the old Silent Hill games, like 2 and 3 specifically.
Those are
Um,
Yeah,
those are
I get
hard to
urges.
go back to.
yeah,
I get urges to play those too, and then I do for a little bit. I'm like, I
I
never
just feel like
finish them when I get those urge.
Mm.
the old Silent Hill games deserve the Resident Evil treatment.
They do. They definitely deserve the Resident Evil treatment, but they're not going to
There's
get
that
them.
rumor
No,
that Silent Hill is coming back
and not
somewhat.
as a reboot, but I feel like I'm down for a reboot. Like I would pick that up day one,
I
especially
need
if Hideo Kojima was back on it.
I need
But
help. I'm getting the Skyrim urge again. I'm
don't
feeling
do
it
it.
I
creep.
dude,
I feel it
I'm right there
creep its
with
way
you.
back in.
Now that I've had Skyrim on Switch since it released, and honestly, that's where I get the urge the most. It's like it's right there. The
You can get
Switch
the
is
link
right
It
out
just
there.
kit.
it just gets in my head every now and then, and I'm just feeling it creep its way into my heart.
Mm-hmm. Yep, definitely. It's midnight.
It is
Roger,
midnight.
did you want to
All right,
sing a little happy birthday?
we're both gonna do it. Are you ready?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. So we need to
Yeah.
sync this up so it doesn't sound awful. You want to do it on three?
All right. 1, 2,
2,
3.
3.
Happy
Happy birthday
birthday
to
to you.
you. Happy birthday
Day to
It's
you.
like
to
Marilyn
you.
Happy
Monroe.
birthday, dear Jacob.
Cha cha cha.
Happy
Happy
I can't
birthday
do it.
to
birthday.
you. Wow, that was beautiful. It was good.
I
We
think
get
that
a
was great, honestly.
Yeah,
thank you guys.
woo.
We get a headphone
Beautiful.
warning on that.
Um, definitely, yeah. Well, to everyone else, if you've listened this far into the show after that 15 minutes of actually rambling, thank you, of course, and as always, thank you to my co-hosts Jake and Roger, the bad boys of video games. Um,
Ha.
Audience, if you like this show, if you like this episode, if you like any of this, show the world. Please give us a positive rating on iTunes, Google Podcasts, fucking wherever you listen to the show. Helps out immensely. Please tell your friends. I don't care what nation they're from. We like humans here, and we like humans listening to our show. So please tell your friends, tell your family, tell your grandma, tell your grandpa, tell
Not
your dog. Have your
don't
dog
tell,
listen to this
don't
podcast.
tell your aliens. No, we don't want dogs. We want humans.
Oh shit,
Don't
you're right.
don't
God,
don't
fucking
tell
I
your
forgot.
dog.
Oh jeez. As always, go ahead and check out the YouTube channel, youtube.com/that one Andrew, where full recordings of this podcast are posted along with some other videos, usually a plethora. I will get back to making more videos. Fucking, it's the dog, man. It's really the dog. It's not even school. It's the dog. We also have Patreon, our very own, at patreon.com/that one Andrew. So if you'd like to support us monetarily, we would greatly appreciate that. Head over to patreon.com/that one Andrew,
We
where you
appreciate you,
can do
one person
that.
that's on our Patreon right now.
Yes, thank you to
Like
the
a
one
lot.
person.
We appreciate you a lot.
Super awesome. But with
Super
that
cool.
being said, I think that's it. It's past midnight now. I might be doing another podcast tonight. I'm not
Oh
sure.
no.
Um, we'll just have to see. So yeah, thank you again, guys, and we'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye.